Previously on the North Gort boomers.
Now then, the boomers had to drag away Chester, because it turns out he's got history with that cop that he saved. Then Oedipus' copy of that striking divgetter, the black feather they've been itching to get on since before that whole Chromata bother, well, that gets stolen by Dame Doris, Queen of the Tramps. So the boomers chased her down, and it was like something out of Benny Hill, but they've got the feather back, and Smoke found a vintage blue pitchwormer feather in a pocket. So Chester's seen his arse by now. He wants to prove he's not a cop. So he's clocked his cop buddy, but all that's done has got everyone pinched. And then the shadow cops nearly got them all away to Strangeways, but at the last minute they managed to scatter and leg it to Bottletown. So the boomers are hiding out in Bottletown, and then they realise that the snide pitchwormer feather that Doris slipped them was actually a spiked black feather with a hidden map on it. So of course they got on it, and they left the bodies conked out in the bog of the Bottletown Wumpies, the mingingest shithouse in all of Manchester. So the inside of a pitchwormer, it's normally all seas, but after the boomers nearly checked out on the water, they discovered an island with a walled city on it. And hovering over that, there's only a giant Kasha-purring cat demon. Meow! Anyway, I'm off because I'm touching cloth. Paint 3 stripes!
Yeah, everybody look up what
And hi.
We're up.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, welcome back, everybody, to the Vurt live stream. This is the campaign of the almighty boomers who have been growing bigger and bigger and bigger in the future Manchester that we're playing in. And for those that were not around for last week, there was a wonderful recap video at the very beginning here, which is expertly voiced with genuine mint slang. Yes, it's wonderful. And the last time we had left our heroes here, they had entered into a feather, and this is the Shrieking Divgetter feather, which is an extremely, extremely dangerous feather, and they're in it. And I believe the very last moments were them flying down at 1,000 miles per second, physics, towards towards what looked like an endless sea, and they found their way through the wind currents to smash themselves right near the shore of the only piece of land they could see. And as they're dragging themselves out of the water towards the shore, they saw in the distance there a castle, an entire a land of that they had been. This is in the Vurt world. Let's see, we are and above this castle-like walls. At the edge of the shore here, there was a giant, absolutely gigantic creature above this walled city, and it's a kasha, which is a absolute mix of, every time you look at it, it seems to change a little bit differently, but it's whiskers and hair and fangs and horns and claws and you name it, and it's purring in a kind of a not necessarily a happy and again, gigantic in the sense of the size of the castle itself. So this is where we now find ourselves. And one real quick, if we could do a quick recap, if you could, or just a thing of your character and how you look at this particular moment dragging yourself out of the water. Right. Let's start with.
I'm playing Chester Ballard. I've said it like 5 different ways at this point. I am a shadow man dog who works for the city. I am the ever grumpy, ever hesitant, constantly suspicious. That's not a word. No one trusts me, and they probably have good reason not to. My personal Chester is one. Chester actually, unlike most of the boomers, isn't really a featherhead, doesn't enjoy this. He's basically in here only because if he doesn't go, he's convinced that 3 of these idiots will get themselves killed. and so he's coming down. His whole purpose for being here is just to get these guys out alive while as quickly as possible.
Wait, so we're the idiots here?
Well, that's the Chester thing. Chester has an ego.
Okay.
You're the one voluntarily walking into the place that might get everybody killed.
Nice. Oh, and at this moment, Chester Ballard, again, everybody has hit the water and is dragging themselves out. But what do you look like at this moment physically?
Oh, like physically, like I've already hit the water. Like I'm just a wet dog. Like you see, like Chester just, so one, he's got his ever-present trench coat is just sort of hovering on the water. Like this weird, it looks just like a dog almost sitting on a lily pad, and he's just grumpy, just like an asshole in the rain. Just like if he could be smoking a cigarette, there would be one in his mouth. It'd be wet and broken, but he wouldn't be like spitting it out. He's just he's mad at the world.
Wet dog smell is all over the place right now. Well, for sure, this is wet dog smell. Okay, nice. Next. Let's go with Smoke.
Well, Smoke is a Shadowman explorer who controls blurbs, technically a Shadow Woman. She is in rough shape right now. She learned very recently that she's terrible at flying, real good at falling, not terrible at the cannonball.
No.
So she's limping her way out of the water, leaking like shadow behind her, just kind of coughing up like black goo, and just trailing water and smoke behind her and looking horrible and real. You know what? She's still excited. This is a feather. She's an addict, and this is her jam.
I would like to pause for a moment just so I can say, "Smoke on the water."
Oh gosh.
But for the record,
We're gonna need to play it, Jack.
she does miss her blurbs, which are left in the real world.
All right. So next we have, let's see, who is next?
I can go.
Okay, let's go.
I'm Rob. I'm playing Oedipus Jones, the excellent driver, most excellent driver in the world, speaker, who top skiers, and I landed pretty inelegantly, but I recovered by staying underwater slightly longer and straightening my jacket.
Oh.
Kind of coming up like I totally intended to do that. Then I flip on my back and I start swimming in circles, kind of like casually, while softly saying "ow, ow, ow, ow" a lot because I took a big hit.
So you're saying you're not dog paddling? No? Okay.
No.
Sorry. So somebody had to try it, right?
I was gonna say you must be that much human there. If you're dog man, too bad you didn't get the dog paddling genetics. That would have helped. Perfect. And last but not least,
Blix. Blix is a robo-Vurt math magician who hyper-processes. And right now he is he's pretty skinny, like the robo portion of his genetics is pretty skinny and like sort of almost skeletal. So he's like a wet tracksuit clinging to that. So he looks like a red skeleton just with water pouring off of it. Like he probably has like some vents or something in like the back of his neck that like blow water and like spray out behind the back of him like to purge it from his system.
Nice.
But he did he pulled the Matrix I know Kung Fu move to like know how to skydive on the way down. So he's still in pretty good shape.
Absolutely. Those of you who are again unfamiliar with the game, we're in the Vurt world now, and Vurt is the world of dreams, of dream logic especially. It's a real place, and actually the type of feather they're in right now, pitchwormer. Wait, I think I might have Yes, I'm sorry.
Flare and pitchwormer.
Correct. So this is the pitchwormer feather, but this is a black feather, and black feathers are not only illegal, but when you go into them, they can be lethal. So you take real damage in the dream world, but your body back in the real world will also take real damage. So it's rough.
I like to think of them as only lethal if you die.
I like your logic.
Oedipus's approach to crime is it's only crime if you get caught.
True.
Therefore, it's only lethal if you die.
Yeah, the sage advice of the dogma. I'd like to see those words coming out of the floppy dog mouth. That would be pretty good. Yeah, I love it. All right. So also, again, as they are coming to the shore here, as you guys are at the shore and you're seeing ahead, there's actually one thing that was extra that they had discovered right before he got into the feather was an actual map. Now, this map was actually on the inside of a feather, so similar to those, the old books when you would be able to, long ago, where you could do this and see a switch. I don't know if you can see that, but if you take the feather like this, they were able to actually see a map, which is something that they only got because they rolled extremely well. I will say that because I was not expecting to get that out, but that's what happens with rumors. So that is basically the way it is. Also, this map here is the writing here, similar to in dreams, is not immediately legible. It looks like letters. It should be legible, but it isn't. Again, dream logic. So that is where you guys are at right now. Also, just so you know, it looks as if the sun is high up in the sky, probably midday. Actually, the weather's fairly pleasant. Looks like there's clouds off in the distance, coming in perhaps. But right now, you got sun up in the sky, and you have, again, this in front of you, this insane image of a walled city with the Kasha demon hanging above it. Moving, it's amorphous, and this loud, deep purring that you guys can feel in your chest. It's so loud. So, what do you do?
What is immediately near us on the island?
You see a sign above or in front of you that just points towards this castle. It's just sand, some kind of scrub brush around. Really just looks like a regular beach. Now, and the sand looks fairly normal. You don't see anything near you as far other than the walled city and this giant Kasha demon.
I'm going to swim towards shore like the most perfect breaststroke ever, showing off. Nice. Should I make you roll for it? No, I'm kidding.
So
yes, actually.
Chester just sort of bobs his way up to the shore. He pulls himself onto the sands, takes the trench coat off. He unzips his trackie for a second, takes his shirt off, and then he just shakes off like a dog, just like.
Of course.
His hair stands up for a second, gathers his things, kind of like glances out, like there's only one direction to go.
Mm-hmm.
Points up ahead.
That
thing hates Mondays.
Can I try thinking myself dry?
Can you what?
Try thinking myself dry. Dream logic.
Yes, try it. Okay. Trying it doesn't happen to work, but I love the fact that you brought that up. Yes, but actually, again, for those at home, that could very well have worked. This is dream logic. They were able to imagine things, but oftentimes, also in black feathers, the ones where you take real damage, sometimes the dream logic is a little bit more logical. Perhaps in some of the crazy blue feathers, the legal ones where you can just, you become another character or you're, playing all around, this kind of stuff. So, Yes, that is where you're at. Now, I know that some people hit this water really hard, and you guys were also in a little bit of roughed up shape before that. So does anybody need to do any type of recovery before you walk
please.
forward? Okay, makes sense. All right.
Yeah, I need like 10 minutes, man, before we move
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend 10 minutes looking for pretty shells on the beach.
Good.
I'm going to start with my single action version.
Yes, do it. Okay, now, and that's a D6 plus 3, because they are all tier 3 right now, which is, as you will see and have seen, this is really, really powerful. That's a cipher system for you.
I should
Rolled a
go
4.
ahead and
I got 2 plus 3 is 5. So now I've got 5 might.
Nice.
9 might.
I'm gonna go ahead and recover my might just because I activated. So got a 6, so I'm back to max.
Got it. Perfect. Okie dokie. So how this was happening now, at this point, I'd like everybody to make a roll. Let's do some type of either like you noticing or something, it could even be just a basic intellect task if you don't have anything specific, but it's to kind of, your surroundings now are strange, and there's a lot, but let's see what you can pull out of here before you go any farther.
So is this something that like knowledge of Vurt stuff might help with?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Knowledge of Vert's, anything having to do with Vurt or, finding your way around track, whatever it would be, even in the real world might help for sure.
This is I got a 17, but I'm going to go on record on saying anything inside of Vurt should be slightly harder for Chester. He really doesn't want to be here, and he's never experienced, like he has no idea what's going on. He's just a passenger.
Love it.
But I did get a 17.
Okay.
So Blix has specialization in Vurt feathers.
Great.
And he has tap in. Each level of tap in counts as an asset towards all tasks, combat and non-combat in the Vurt.
Was that a mathematician one?
I think it's a Vurt mode one.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah. So he's got 3 assets helping here.
Damn. Do it. 17.
13.
Okay. And what about?
I've got knowledge of Vurt feather trained.
Okay. Oh, down 2. Sorry. Okay. Skill train. Okay. Go for it.
Oh, my D20. I got a 5.
Yay! Womp womp. Good. And here we are. Oedipus.
I have dog sense, but I don't know if that's just specifically. So you have the uncanny ability to sense when things aren't right and can snap to an alert state quickly. You are trained in initiative. Is the first part kind of flavor for the second part, or is it also an asset?
Let's count it as an asset. This is a pretty wide roll, so I'll give you
The conclusion will be things aren't right.
Yeah. Something smells funny. Yeah.
Rolled a 12.
Okay. Perfect. So here is the information as you guys are, again, shaking yourselves off and, obviously incredibly grumpy, incredibly confused, trying to recover the other 2. You can hear, actually, this is what Chester hears way off in the distance, even though you don't know what the hell's going on, but your dog ears are picking up just a little bit better than everybody else. Yeah, exactly, ears up. And you get the sounds of what sound like a chorus of brass instruments, trombones specifically. That's what you got. This is the
God damn it. Everyone, quiet. Goddamn marching band in the area.
What?
The marching band.
Now, if he tells
He's
us about it,
standing
can we pick up on it as well?
Yes, absolutely. The minute he starts talking about a marching band and his ears go up, you guys are paying attention, to say the least.
Is it
Sounds
jazz?
like
I
Philip
love
Sousa.
jazz.
All right. Well, I take 2 shells
Mhm.
and I wrap some reeds around the end
Mm-hmm.
and I make a castanet.
Castanets. I love it. Yes. Keep those with you. You feel that once you do that, Oh, this feels good in this Vurt.
One for each hand.
Why not?
Does Chester's Vorpal pistol translate into the Vurt, or is he
It
armless?
does. No,
It does?
Absolutely. Yeah. And not all black feathers, you go in totally corporal and what you're carrying in your pockets and weapons and everything. This one, you've got your weapons, you've got the ciphers in your pocket, except, did anybody have more than their cipher limit there, their threshold?
Chester has no ciphers. Chester
Okay.
is sad.
Yeah, he doesn't need it, right? Does anybody have more than they came? And again, those of you at home who are used to cipher system, in general, there's a cipher limit. It's, it's the number of ciphers you can carry around. But in Vurt, you can carry around more than your limit in the real world. You'll just definitely draw the wrong kind of attention. But in the Vurt world, when you go in there, that's where the limit actually counts. So if you have, say, 4 ciphers in your pocket, and you take that feather and you go into the Vurt world, if you only have a cipher limit of 3, only 3 of them actually show up there, and it's done randomly as well. So that's where we're at.
I have 3 with a limit of 2.
Okay. Let's see.
Fractal Blade, Super Ren Domino, and Mad Dog 40/40.
Okay. So let's have you roll again. We have to do it randomly. 1, 2, and 3. So sorry, what were the 2 powerful ones?
Fractal Blade and Mad Dog.
Okay. So why don't you roll right now? If it's even, you keep the Fractal Blade. If it's odd, you keep the Mad Dog, and you can't find your Fractal Blade anywhere. Let's see.
It's 15.
Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah, now we know. Okay. So yes, looking all around, you thought, oh shit. Especially as a featherhead, maybe you should have thought of this, although it was an odd
I mean, I
situation.
did think of it, but I wasn't going to leave it in the bathroom.
True. I was going to, again, those that weren't with us last week, in the real world, yeah, they're flying through the Vurt world and swimming in the water and everything, but back in the real world, they're stuck in what's known as the worst toilet in Manchester. It's a Wimpy's Burger public bathroom that is beyond disgusting, and they're all just, half, more than basically unconscious, sitting there in their own filth. But you're having a good time.
I wouldn't say it's our own.
Not yet.
That doesn't make it any better. Thanks for bringing it up.
Well, we have
It is
another
very specifically
2 hours.
not our filth. We are sitting in other people's filth. That is worse.
This is true. This is true. So, okay, so you guys have your ciphers on you that you need. You guys are drying yourselves off, and you're walking again far off in the distance. You see this kasha. You can still feel the purring and humming in there. But now again, as you get closer and closer, you're hearing this sound of trombones. Trombones.
So
it doesn't make any sense
Chester
to me.
wants he's going to kind of wring out his trench coat and put it back on. And he immediately, as soon as it's back on, reaches in, finds the Vorpal pistol, and just starts checking it. He's inspecting everything, make sure it works. There's probably a little bit of water. He's shaking it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as he sort of feels in a good spot, he's like, everybody down. And he's we're on a beach, right? So there's probably a tree line off to our left or is there any type of vegetation, anything?
Yes, actually, there is you can see there's a plant that looks, again, seemed like it was scrub brush in general, but you see one in particular near you that seems to be dripping, it looks almost the consistency of wax, almost like it's a candle of some sort inside, and where the flowers would be, where pollen might be coming out, it's drips of wax, and it's this, and it smells like cinnamon, but it smells so much like cinnamon that it's hurting your eyes, especially those with dog senses. It's like hot cinnamon, like fireballs or those, candies and whatnot. And it's too powerful to be pleasant at this point.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, knowledge of
What
Vurt
stupid
world.
shit are you going to do? She says
Anybody?
quietly.
Nice. Knowledge of Vurt world, I believe. Blix? Or no, who
Oh,
is?
I have
Yes.
plenty of that. Yeah.
Why don't you help the group out there to see perhaps if you know something more about this particular
Okay. Should that be? I have knowledge of vert feathers that's specialized, and tap in. So that's 3.
3. Got it. Okay.
I got a 17, but I'm only specialized once.
Okay. Oh,
I got a 7.
Trained.
Perfect. Sorry, Mike, what was that?
7.
Oh, 7. Okay. So
I got a 4.
4. Eesh.
So I get Chester's knowledge of this is like
Yeah.
like
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 cinnamon.
my aunt trying to explain Fortnite, just nothing.
I rolled a 20.
You have what?
I rolled a 20, natural 20.
Did you?
Whoa. I love it. Okay. Here's what you find. Okay, as you're looking through it, perhaps it was an old Game Cat review, something where someone was talking about this waxy plant of some sort. And you remember, you don't remember why you remember, but it's called a Velocera plant. So these are Velocera flowers. And the wax is actually the flower themselves. And it is actually wax. You also know, and here's where the 20 comes in, don't touch it. Don't touch it at all. If you're going to touch it, protect yourself, wrap it up, but you somehow remember, oh, if someone were to touch that, horrific things could happen to them. And the cinnamon smell, again, is overpowering, but you remember this is a really dangerous plant. But you also, the last bit on this 20 is that it is incredibly valuable. For it's used as components. There are some people that go into the Vurt world just to, like they have their own little Vurt apothecary. They go in there, they look for, you have to be very high level. You have to be able to go in and out of the Vurt world pretty easily. But they actually go around looking for different plants, things like that to maybe mix, there are legends about it. So that's what you know. It's very valuable, and do not touch it.
I'm always wearing racing gloves because my idol Ryan Gosling wore racing gloves.
Nice.
So is my knowledge good enough to know if that is enough to pick them?
With a 20, I'm going to say, yeah. Yeah, okay. It's enough. Just don't have it touch those fingertips.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have anything to wrap it in, or like my inventory is kind of sparse?
I don't know. Look in your pocket.
I look in my pocket.
What do you have in your pocket to hold that?
I would say a giant cloth napkin.
That's exactly what you have. Isn't that great?
Yeah, like a bandana. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for.
Nice.
So I'm going to kind of use my gloves to wrap a bandana around, let's say 2 of them. I'm going to try.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to kind of wrap my hands around the base and try to pull it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You pull it out and it comes out easily, but you hear this absolute, hurtling scream. And then it ends. Everybody hears it.
Think we should move away from
the
this
plant
spot?
screams?
It seems like it came from the plant, yes.
I say sorry.
I want to kind of like check back the direction where like the cat thing was floating and like towards the town to make sure that like, okay, does anything seem like it picked up on that and is like paying attention to us now? Because
Got it. No, you don't see it yet. Again, it's a little far. It's pretty far away still.
Okay.
Yes, that's GM gives it all away. Yes, nothing yet. I'll have to scratch that out. Okay. Yes. Yes, it screams as you pull it out. You do get it wrapped up, and you're able to, make sure that nothing touches, your skin.
Were the trombones at all related to the flowers, or is it coming from somewhere else?
No, it sounds like it's coming from in the city, like in the walls.
And what kind of, like, as an expert in music, because I know all about style.
That's true.
I'm not actually an expert in music, but I should know about it. Can I tell what genre we are dealing with here?
Yes. Yes. It's not banned. I really only have one real world or actual world example, and that's it's not quite the Benny Hill intro, but it's that weird kind of kind of like a polka on speed kind of thing.
For some reason, I'm thinking of
AKA
the
ska. Yeah, yeah. So it
Looks
is
is like, I dig it. All right.
yeah. Now the melody, there's no specific melody. They're playing together, but it's not a recognizable melody. It's just a whole bunch of bop, bop, bop. It's all 3/4. Kind of makes you go back and forth, but it's not terrible, but it's not catchy.
Catchier with my castanets.
Absolutely. And
Goddamn jazz.
No,
you don't like jazz either? Damn, you don't
Jazz
like
is better than this. I'm going to say that Oedipus is a big fan of improvisational jazz.
Yes.
That strikes me as a thing I would like.
I feel like Oedipus says that, but really he knows like the names of like 3 Frank Scenario songs. Like that's it. Like he doesn't even know like the actual music.
Yep.
Oedipus has a Thelonious Monk album that he's never listened to.
Yeah.
Like, that's the extent of his jazz knowledge.
Because I judge everything by its cover, why would I ever take it out of the sleeve?
Nice.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yes. So yes, you actually recognize that this is a shitty cover of a Thelonious Thump remix. I'm gonna go there. Why not? So this is someone trying to play really crappy. It's reminiscent for sure, but again, it's not static.
I'm just gonna like now that he's made noise and drawn attention to us, I'm just gonna like not be visible.
Mhm. Got it.
Seems like the best plan.
While you dust out, I'm just going to address the group and say, this might get worse. We might be dealing with amateur theater.
Chester, for a moment, Chester just takes his vocal gun and puts it to his head just for a second, and then just, like,
Definitely.
he cocks
There, jerk out.
he goes into like the fence stance. He's squaring his hips somewhere like off in the distance where he can hear it, and he just like, all right, and he just starts moving very slowly down the beach towards the marching band.
Mm-hmm.
Blix wants to try to take some time to,
or they come to us. I'd rather get the drop on them.
Blix wants to take a second to try to get it like a read on the cat thing, like, you know.
Okay.
Blix knows more about the Vurt world than I do, so like Blix
yes.
consults his assorted information and like.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's like, this feels like home, and let's consult the databanks at the same time, and let's see what we figure out. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is yeah, of course. This is a as you again had figured out before, it's a kasha, and kashas are again more of a it's a demon. They're actually they come from like traditional real world places, but this is almost more like a shape-shifting, ever-moving version of it. But you can tell from here, and what you do remember about kasha demons is what they're known for isn't necessarily aggressively attacking or anything. Obviously, they're weird, to say the least. But they, from what you can remember, actually, please roll, just to see if you can remember even more.
Okay.
This is as you guys are walking closer and closer.
So yeah, I've got the 3 assets, and I'll spend a level of effort, which with edge comes off that, so that's 4.
Perfect. Okay.
And 19.
Oh, okay. Here's a little bit of extra info. So you guys are going towards kashas, as kasha demons, as you know, or you just realized or remembered, often will show up when they're at the site of a battle or at the site of plagues or anything where there is mass death. And what the kasha does is actually it goes to these dead bodies and it picks them up in its claws and everything. It's tiny. It's almost like something picking up ants, and it draws it up into itself. And then once it's picked up all the bodies, it floats up and goes off. And then many people, had thought, oh, it's taking them up to, either, the afterlife or things like that. But it has a lot to do with them being around places of a lot of death. Here's the last bit of the 19. This is what this gave you. This particular kasha, this purring, is very, very angry. They only purr. They don't meow. There's none of that. But this purring, you feel, I mean, you all kind of sensed it, but this is a very angry kasha. And they're also so huge that they rarely go after, they don't really deal with the living. They have their own reason to do everything, and they're there to pick up the dead and bring them up.
Blix, do we got to worry about this goddamn thing?
Yes.
Short answer.
Such a negative view.
Blix runs through a whole bunch of stuff, but like the basic answer is yes, and it's also fast that like that's basically the part that anybody's going to catch.
Yeah.
Well, they're not usually out here. Yes.
Yes. Hyper processes. Definitely.
But what if we get it a giant ball of wool? Huh? Have you thought about that?
Mm-hmm.
I try to try to do the thing again where I very hard. Giant ball of wool.
I love it. I don't mean to shut you down every time, but yes, you do that and then open your eyes and it's not there. It's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
It would have worked in other feathers. You know it would have, perhaps.
All right.
I'm gonna keep trying.
I've done the math, and that's not the answer.
I am not.
Blix, are we running away from this thing or are we heading towards it? We got to pick a direction.
I think we should run away, but we did get sent here by Doris.
Well, yeah, I don't. If we run away, I don't know that we get anywhere unless we jerk out. And there's certainly something here to check out. So like, yeah, come on, we're in this hip feather. There's a thing. Come on. It's like,
this is an upgrade.
We'll just hide. We won't get caught. It'll be fine. We're good.
This is an upgrade to what would be a incredibly boring experience otherwise.
Yeah.
Go with it.
Yeah. Do you guys really want to go back to the real world? Do you remember where you were?
Yes.
A normal pitch wormer would be like watching a test signal on TV. This is actually a show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Those of you, actually 3 of you guys, as much as this is crazy, are really enjoying it. I mean, this is a good fucking feather. Come on.
It's great. There's gonna be something good over here. It's like.
Plus, I got loot.
All right, then.
I got loot. It's all good.
Chester's just like, Blix, after you.
Mm-hmm.
He's like waiting patiently with the Vorpal pistol just down at his side, just like gesturing wildly. We can't sit on this beach all afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Now,
I feel like putting Blix at like the front of the party is a good way for everybody else to end up left behind. Just like,
I could just see a little. Yeah, going there.
Yeah, over here. All right, we're gonna be good.
Yeah. Okay, so now at this point, you guys are, follow this. It's a dirt road. You can actually see that there are. There's another road that crosses it. It seems like if this is an island, it's fairly big. Again, you guys saw it flying, down towards the surface of there anyway. But it looks like there's wagon tracks at one point. It's a little muddy. It might have rained not too long ago. It's sunny at the moment. But this is a place where, it looks, for all intents and purposes, it looks like a medieval town. And again, as you get closer, you can actually see there's a drawbridge, just like the storybooks. The drawbridge is actually down. And you can actually see inside at this point, there are lines of people, citizens inside, and they're all dressed, from, again, medieval, people are wearing those, the leather, hats, and, there's no buttons and things are stitched. And every single one of them has a tiny little trombone and is, this is the Vurt world. Those of you who have done Crazy Feathers before, yeah, this is odd, but you've seen Otter perhaps. But yes, so there's probably, from what you can see, maybe 100 people. This is just from outside the gates with the open drawbridge, and they're all looking up at the Kasha. And
all right.
Does it seem to be doing the angry thing where it's like plucking up souls or whatever it was we were talking about before? Or like, is it just kind of hanging out there and like being frustrated by these guys with their little
Yep. From what you can tell, I mean, it's not. No one can see it reaching down and grabbing stuff. It's stopped right there, and again, it's angry, and they're up at it.
I mean,
Are there any convenient dead people?
You can't see it unless you walk in, but from here, you just see people.
I would be angry too if this was my concert. So I look around. Can I look around and see if there's a conductor?
You would have to walk all the way inside past the drawbridge. You can't see anybody from where you're at. You guys are at the edge of the drawbridge.
Blix, is anyone going to freak out that, they look like that and we look like this?
It'll be fine. Let's go.
That's a good question for me to double check with the GM. I feel like usually no, but
Usually
I'm not
no.
sure.
I'd go
Like,
with
do they like them?
Oh, I should.
Depending on
also
how
describe-
intelligent they are, they might notice that we're not from here or something. But I don't think they'd be like, oh, witches, right? Like it's
Yep, they do look.
They'll notice we're
human.
different.
They all look human. And again, from where you're at, they just look like humans wearing medieval costumes with little tiny trombones.
Okay. Chester's going to take his Vorpal pistol. He's going to throw it into his holster. He's going to button up his trench coat, collar up, and just start like may as well go forward.
Yeah,
Walking over the drawbridge into the crowd.
If
I
they
use
can't,
Chester for shade.
if they can't do the fact that we're good looking, I mean, that's their problem.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to have that. Yeah. Okay, so and now all of you guys are wearing matching trackies, just like real life. Look at this. And obviously, you don't look like you fit in, but you guys are marching right in. It sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Well,
I mean,
Chester is marching right.
It looks like there's 3 people, to be fair. I'm
Yes.
hiding in Chester's shadow.
Cool, perfect. And that's fine. So yes, you cross the drawbridge, you get in, and people near you again are still playing their trombones, but notice you, and you could tell they're upset by seeing you, and they're surprised, and they can't figure out. They look at you like, again, your shirt's clothes or something, but they don't stop. They're still going up at the Kasha thing. So, and now that you're actually into the gates there, you can actually see there's more like 200 to 300 people, filling this big, large square. The buildings inside, again, it's like a medieval town. Some of it's mud brick at the bottom. There are there's horses. It looks like a medieval town, and no one is stopping their trombone, and they look angry. And at the end of this long square, you can see that there's the castle, and there's the entrance to the castle itself. To your right and left, there are other buildings. You can see other things, but that's the main.
So do they seem angry that we're here and not playing playing tiny trombones, or
They
they're
seem
angry
surprised
towards
and
the
upset.
thing?
Yeah, they seem surprised and upset, but at the same time, they seem like it's more important for them to continue playing these trombones and even this craziness that they're seeing. So it is life or death important for them in their eyes to keep playing.
Is there anybody who's not playing?
No. However, you can see that. You can see that again. The castle at the end has the doors open. You can see there's people inside, but you still need to get much closer to check it out. But everybody you see right now is playing and looking up at this demon, which is purring.
Okay, then we
D&D level.
shoot him the double thumbs up, and we head for the castle, right? That's
Might as well go
like-
see it. Might as well go see the goddamn king. Come on.
they're giving us the angry side eye where they're like, do. It's like, good job, all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep up the good work, all right.
I'm going to assume that at some point in the history of England restaurants, there must have been a medieval times equivalent. So I'm going to look around for paper crowns.
Nice.
And if I can't find one, I'm going to try to imagine a crown on my head.
Mm-hmm. Please keep trying this. Yes.
Don't trust me.
I'm glad. You're doing this, and you open your eyes. No. But I should have worked, shouldn't it have? Yeah. No paper crown. Yeah, but wah, wah.
Bad, but I'm gonna keep trying.
It's not that kind of feather, Oedipus. And also,
Nice.
before you ask, it's not that kind of feather either. So just don't even go there.
Yes. Now, also, this the map that you guys had seen from before that was in the feather. You know, you certainly remember what it looked like. This is again, you realize now it shows you the inside of this. You know, it shows some buildings, outlay, but this is actually a map of this medieval city or town, and you know, complete with everything. So that allows you, well, mechanically it allows you some things to be able to get yourself around pretty damn easily. But it definitely, looking at that map, or reminding yourselves of that map, the castle, of course, being the central area, but it's a walled city all the way around. So at this point, the Kasha, again, it's starting to shake and tremble more and more, and it seems to kind of puff itself up just like a cat would if it saw something it didn't like, you know, with the hair on the back of its. It doesn't have a neck, but if it did, it would be that. So it's getting angrier. And with that, the people are playing even more furiously. Again, these are trombones, maybe an inch long. It looks
like
ridiculous.
Chester's natural dog tendencies. Like he's walking towards the castle, but like under his breath, you hear him go.
Nice.
He's like,
Maybe I
it's
should-
like muffled. Like he knows he shouldn't bark at the cat, but he can't stop himself from
Yes,
barking
I
at the
love
cat.
Love it. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, like Chester is heading into the castle. Like he's on a mission, doing the Chester thing.
Yeah, the walk. Yes. Okay.
That's not really Chester's walk.
No, but I was trying to do it for the camera. I really can't get up and do it, but I figured it's pretty forceful one or another. So yes, the castle again. Now at the entrance of the castle, again, you guys are there. The castle doors are open, so again you can see inside. That's fairly, you know, it's a rectangular castle. It goes back, and you can see a throne at the end of this room. There's nobody sitting on the throne, and you can see a group of a huddle of people near the throne. They're dressed a little more elegantly. It seems they have velvet, you know, they have fancier hats and everything, and they're all huddled together whispering. They're not playing trombones, and they look just deep in thought, and they have not seen you guys yet. But
I nudge Chester and I say, let me handle this. I can talk to people.
that's true. Talk. Yeah.
And I walk up to the group.
Oh gosh. Perfect.
I say, hail. I am Sir Oedipus Jones of the North Gort Boomers. How goes it here, forsooth?
Beautiful. They turn, eyes go wide. Now, you also maybe now realize that the way you look and the way Chester looks, well, hell, the way all of you guys look, let's be totally honest here, but especially those of you that have like a dog face, this and that, they are terrified and they're not answering it, and you can hear whispers, and they're slinking back into the shadows, and you can hear demon, devil, you know, this and that, and you can see that they're making all these weird signs, maybe religious, and they're trying to figure out, and they are terrified.
I continue bullshitting.
Blix, are these guys scared of us, or are they worshiping us?
I think they're scared of us. Hold on. And I say, we are here on behalf of Lord Dougie Arkanoid and Lord blanking on his name because
Brent Rambo.
Rambo, yes.
Duke Rambo.
To help you.
Yes. Make a roll, please. Either intimidation, persuasion, one of those kind of. Yeah. Or whatever you feel is appropriate.
I mean, it doesn't feel like spinning identity because we're actually
Nope.
convinced that we're here to do that. So I was roll. There we go. 10.
Is Smoke still invisible, or is she?
Oh yeah, no, I'm totally hiding behind you.
Behind.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm just mouthing like, Smoke, stay hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I didn't need you to tell me that.
You rolled a 9?
A 10.
A 10. Okay, that works. You have a good 9. All right. One of them, the others are whispering, shaking, and one of them comes forward, kind of separates himself from the group, and he has more of a leadership air about him. And he's very tall. He has, it looks like kind of ill-fitting clothes. He looks uncomfortable in his, his clothes. He has very large shoes. He happens to have very large shoes. He's incredibly tall, and he has this big red fez on. And he does a lot of coughing. And he says, "Where are you from?" He's coughing. Can't tell if it's a nervous cough or something, but he wasn't coughing a second ago. I've never heard of Lord Arcanite. Rambo. He is coughing.
Why the hell are they coughing? Is anyone else coughing? Like Chester immediately starts scanning the room looking for. I actually at this point, like Chester wants to take an inventory of this room. Like he wants to start planning exits.
Got it.
He's doing his Chester thing.
Perfect. No roll needed for that for you. Okay, so you can see again. You have the training. So you can see. You know where all the exits are. You can see obviously the exit behind you. You knew where you're coming from. You can actually see that behind one of the curtains near the throne, there's what looks like maybe a door, kind of going into maybe a rear section of this particular castle. And you see that on each side, there's another hallway going into double doors that are closed. So this main castle may go into other little rooms, but this is certainly majority of what you're seeing is the majority of the castle.
Okay.
Yeah, and nobody else is coughing, but they're looking concerned at this gentleman here who is
Chester's ears are going to drop, and he's going to try to control his shadow effects as best possible. Like he's like trying to look like a friendly dog as best as Chester can look like a friendly dog.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah. Yeah.
Cough drops, guys. Cough drops, anyone? Hold on. Let me. I try to concentrate and do my thing, and I think of cough drops.
Think of cough drops. Think of cough. So as you're doing this, and again, he's coughing. The others are looking odd, and you're hearing mini trombones outside, and the purring Kasha demon outside is rumbling your chest. This is possibly one of the stranger Vurts you guys have ever been in at this point. And you're like,
I love it so much.
I was going to say.
I'm watching everybody's back.
Mm-hmm. It's dangerous. It feels dangerous. It feels confusing. But for 3 of you guys, this is a rush. This is crazy. This is a good rush, though. Chester, not being a featherhead, not so much, to say the least. But you guys,
I am miserable.
Yeah, true. No cough drops appear in your hand, but you feel, right or wrong, you feel like you almost got there this time. Maybe next time if you try just a little bit harder, you might be able to make something appear, but keep trying, please. Okay. Now, tall guy, he takes off his fez like this to bow, and he leans down, and you can see when he does, he has an eye right here that opens up. And looks back and forth at you guys, looking over everybody like this. The iris is yellow all the way around, pinpoint pupil in the middle. It doesn't match his regular eyes. He takes that off, he's looking at you guys like this, he's still coughing, he puts it back on, and then he stands up, and he turns and he goes to huddling back and whispering to his friends.
Can we hear I'm going to try to hear what he's whispering.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like my ears are going to shoot up, just like boop.
Perfect.
I'm just going to mind read him.
Oh, is it a willing? It has. I think. You have.
It's surface thoughts.
Oh, so this is not the willing target. This is.
Yeah.
No.
No, this is that shadow power that like.
Oh,
we
yes.
can
Oh, the shadow.
resurface
Yes.
thoughts.
Of course. So between ears perking up and that, you're hearing three aren't. Who are these three? These three that aren't. And they're trying to figure out, what's, the three of them, they shouldn't be here. Who are these people? What's going on? Three of them shouldn't be here. One should be here, but three should not.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, so they see smoke.
No, they don't. They said, oh, well.
They
maybe.
counted
No.
4. They counted
Yes,
4
no.
of us.
Yep.
So just like
And-
smoke.
And at that point, Smoke, even you realize that when you took this off and was looking around like this, something hit you inside where it felt like, oh, I'm exposed. I should be hidden, but I'm not, just for a split second. So this eye coming out of the top of his head, going back and forth, you feel like he saw you. He should not have been able to, but he did. So that is where, now, at this point, he stops. He pushes, people off to the side. He's coughing like this, and someone hands him a cough drop there, of course, or it looks like a cough drop. He takes it, it's going like this, and he keeps trying to talk, but he can't get up.
I
And
think he's
his-
allergic to dogs.
That's exactly, the minute you have that thought, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what it is. And you've seen it before, even in the real world, that is, it's dog hair. He's very allergic to dogs. So, and he's very pissed. So he's trying, yeah.
So you can just poison him by standing next to him, basically.
There you go, hug him and kill him.
Even if you're getting closer, he pushes back like this, like this, and the people around him, look about ready, like they need to protect him or something. They're on edge. They're ready to jump to action if need be. Although, even though there's about 10 of them, you don't see any weapons anywhere, at least not on them. And really, they don't even look like they have the confidence to take down 4 badasses. But they're ready to.
Hey, Bezhead. Chester's gonna peek up at this point. It's like, Bezhead. Yeah, Bez, you. What's your name, sire? People say sire here. I don't know what people say here.
Go with sir. Sir sounds good.
Sir. Sir. Your name, sir.
He tries, he's coughing, and he's coughing too. Now he's on the ground coughing, and the person next to him.
Tell me this guy's name. Anyone
Alright,
in the
guys.
room.
Can you just back off a little bit?
These,
I'm gonna,
it's like,
I'm
yeah,
gonna-
Blix is gonna step over to Oedipus and say, "Look, we're in a Vurt feather. These are Vurt beings. You know my genetics. Let me handle this. just take a step back, because like you guys with the hair, it's bugging them.
I'm not used to people not liking me.
They like you.
have
It's
issues
your
with
hair they don't like."
All right.
Jerry,
So then Blix will turn
Chester
around
will
and walk
take-
over to them.
Exactly 2 steps back from the
Mhm.
crowd. He's like walks back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just someone fucking get some information. For God's sake.
So yeah,
too.
Blix will be like, "Okay, you guys take a step back.
Mhm.
I'll handle this."
Mhm.
And Blix will
Okay.
turn to face them and advance on them far too quickly for what he should be doing, and he has an inability in like friendly social interactions. Just like, "What's your name? What's going on here? You tell us what's going on. What is happening outside?"
Nice.
Okay, as Chester backs up, I will moonwalk so that I end up right next to him.
Way cool. Way cool.
Mm.
Nice. So the 2 dogs have retreated just enough. Smoke, you're still behind, but you've been.
No, I went
Mhm.
forward with
Oh.
Blix, but like at a normal person pace,
Got it. Okay, perfect.
because I
Um,
don't have allergic fur.
True. It seems again, as Blix goes up and is right in this, this guy's face, and he's coughing. The person next to him, is patting him on the back and saying, please, he's allergic. Can you, have your friends, have them go away. Get them out of here. And they're very upset, and he can't stop coughing. Still, seems a
Chester's
little.
gonna with willing targets, I
Yeah.
assume, Like he's gonna smoke mind meld to the boomers, just be like, God damn it, I'll be outside. And he's just gonna like, he's gonna back up, but I want him to literally, like, as he's passing by people, he wants to do those like snap growls, like, and like his little smoke eyes just like swipe for a second just to freak him out. And then he's outside waiting. He's gonna reach into his trench. He's gonna look for a pack of cigarettes. I don't know if they translated. He's gonna grab it. He's just gonna like light up and just start like smoking. Just like staring. He's just gonna spend the whole time staring up at the cat, just like low key growling at her.
Nice.
Fine, I'll go too.
Nice. So with the dog hair out of the throne room there,
I want to keep an active telepathic connection to both Blix and Smoke.
Me
Sure.
too.
And you can also see each other. You have that connection, but you can also see each other. So if you had to run in for some reason, you could, but at least you're far enough away that he can't, Mr. Allergic here. So it takes a minute or two, but he finally composes himself. He's wheezing, he's trying to do this, trying to get his air back, and he's saying, it was all, you could tell he's, allergic, and he says, he tries to do a bow, and he says, I am Sir Koopy Tom. I am the Queen's assistant, and we welcome you to Castleton. And of course, he's saying this to you, Blix, and you're right in his face. There was no negative reaction to that at all. In fact, at this point, he puts his hand out on your shoulder and gives a little nod, like, one of us, kind of. So
we accept you. No.
Yes, exactly. At this point, again, he looks into your eyes, and then again nods again.
He stares at my faceplate, like the White Rabbit sticker, like for the iPad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's your half machine anyway. So, and so he begins to tell you, and all of the ministers and the other people around him are nodding and yes. And he's telling you that they're in desperate need of help. There's a Kasha demon right outside. It's here. They don't know why it's here.
Wait, there is? Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you didn't notice it on the way in. And he says, he says, I have no idea why we don't have enough dead. They only show up for battles or plagues or things like that. We can't figure out why, but for right now, we're holding them off sonically with many trombones. And again, he now takes off his hat again, and you can see him looking around, and he looks over your shoulder and he sees Smoke. He sees her, or you feel that he sees you, and he says, your friends are odd. They're not made right. They don't smell right. They don't feel right. Even you don't feel 100% right. There's something. Where are you from? Why are we feeling this way?
What is the right way to explain it? Like we're from the other side of the looking glass. I mean, that's
As you start to kind of describe Vurt stuff, you can see confusion on his face. Absolute confusion. Make a roll here. Just intelligent, either basic intelligence or some type of some skill that, intellect, perhaps an intellect task.
Okay, so it's just like kind of like getting an idea of what they're like, kind of getting a read on them sort of situation. What you're looking for. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Then I still get an asset from tap in, but that's the only one I've got.
Perfect. So I have to roll a 9 or above.
And I'll spend that level of effort that gets knocked off with edge, so that's 2.
Perfect. So 6 or above.
I will blow this in 1 second. All right. Yeah, just like that. 3.
Oh, okay. Yes. So you, again, perhaps it's your robo programming. You're not picking up what he's laying down. The only information you get is that, he feels that you're mostly realist. You feel mostly right, but he doesn't. And you also, again, you're just as confused as he is. And the only bit of information you get out of the three is the fact that he doesn't really know what you're talking about as far as other side of the looking glass, real world, nothing.
You're from somewhere else. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So the idea now, that's a red flag for you as a featherhead. There are very few places that feathers will take you in the Vurt world where they don't have any concept of the real world yet. You know what I mean? These are undiscovered countries. These are undiscovered places in the Vurt world that either have yet to have contact with or haven't had it in long, so
yeah.
something.
So it's exciting, but it's not necessarily a good exciting. Yeah.
Yes. You feel very far from home right now. And that's all you're getting on that roll. But Koopy Tom or Sir Koopy Tom gets up again, he does a little bow again, and he says, we would be forever grateful if you would assist us with this. We're in desperate need. The queen is gone. We don't know what to do. The Kasha shows up right after she was taken, and we don't know what to do. We don't have weapons. We're a peaceful society.
Your queen was taken?
Yeah.
Yes.
The air.
Says, yeah. He lifts it up and he looks and he spots you and he says, yes, the queen was taken. With his fez up. And he says, yes, she was taken. A group of shadows came, and you don't get the feeling that he meant shadow. He doesn't really have a concept of shadow person or anything like that. But these shadows came and they took her. And this was this morning, and immediately following, the Kasha shows up and it's purring, and we don't know what to do. And all we have are these little trombones, and it seems to be working, but even we don't know why it's working. And you see that also at this point, you realize every person, including them, has a little necklace with a mini trombone on it. So it's something that everybody just has. Welcome to Castleton. So he says, will you please undertake this quest, oh good sirs and ma'ams.
God damn D&D shit.
Do you know where they took her? Do you know what direction they took her? Where she was? Anything at all?
The shadows. They surrounded her. They took her out, and they went, to the moors behind. Now, the moors you guys saw as you were approaching the castle. In the distance behind it looked like moors. That's where the clouds were. You figure that's what I meant. So here's what has happened. The queen was taken by shadows that morning. She was whisked out of the castle, and the shadows whisked her across the moors, and she's been taken. At that very moment, the Kasha demon shows up and starts purring and starts to descend on the town. The first person hits their little trombone. It seems to kind of work, and now you have 300 people out there losing their breath, some of them passing out. I mean, they've been doing this all day at this point. They're very lightheaded.
I have a very important question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know any other songs?
Aha! he says, why, yes, we do. But we're far too afraid to play it because this is the only song that we know that isn't totally melancholy. And he says, and you know how Kasha demons, they can get very, very sad. And all the ministers, very sad, very sad. Again, this is a bizarre feather, even amongst featherheads. This is raw Vurt happening here.
And we do not want sad kitties here. Okay.
No,
we don't want sad kitties. You know, it would help more castanets.
I guess castanets. Shell castanets. You do your little castanet thing.
I brought extra shells.
Even better. Do 600?
I spent 10 minutes collecting shells.
That's at least 600. 2 for everyone.
Can we just save this goddamn queen so we can get the hell out of this freaking D&D nightmare?
Oh my God, Chester. Do
yes.
not work out or I will murder you in real life.
Also, what's a D&D?
Yea, be
Yes.
forsooth unto thee we shall return thine queen thusly.
You know what?
But it's like
That was just perfect. That was the first time anybody said anything that totally cleared with him. It's like, oh, yeah. Well, forsooth, thus say I unto thee, thou. Go with thou noweth. And now all the ministers, yes. Mm-hmm.
yea, verily.
Yeah, verily.
Unto thine queen we shall return. No, not repent. That's
nice. The purring from outside again is still, it seems to be growing. They look twice as nervous and they say, please go.
I leave them a pile of shells and the instructions on how to make more castanets.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. Yes, and so they say go, and they're trying to get you to leave. At this point, those two of you, they're outside. The dogs. No one's leading them, but 4 horses. 4 white horses trot up next to you and bow their heads.
Cool.
And they have saddles, and they are ready to go.
I look at
God
Chester.
damn. Don't bow down to anyone. Horses, have some self-respect.
Oh shit!
I look at Chester and I say, I didn't imagine these.
Are you sure?
It's okay. I did. And she jumps on.
Nice. Yes, the horses, again, they're very friendly and they're ready to take you where you need to go.
Chester's gonna be like, oh, if I'm doing this, is there? So we remember the map, right? Of the the thing.
Yes.
Is there a blacksmith in this town?
Oh, most certainly. Most certainly.
Chester's he's gonna like, I'm fucking doing this. I'm doing it right. He's gonna grab the reins of the white horse. And I want to walk over to. I'm gonna head towards the blacksmith. I'm getting a goddamn bastard sword. Like, I'm
And so you should. And so you
I'm getting
should.
it.
Yep.
I want a cool helmet.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna find the blacksmith. I want to get a bastard sword. I want to get some armor. Like, if I'm gonna be a goddamn knight, I'm gonna be a goddamn knight.
Nice. Bastard sword, armor, done. In fact, you get there, it's laying on a table in front of the blacksmith's, as if it was waiting for you, just there.
Are there
Anybody
any
else?
tridents?
I'm gonna take. He takes off. Chester's gonna shed his trench coat. He's gonna shed the trackie for a moment. He folds the trench coat immaculately and hands it to the blacksmith. He's like, if this is here when I get back, you won't die.
Nice.
He sort of sets it down, puts on the armor. As soon as he gets, I'm assuming it's like chainmail, something relatively thin. Puts that on, puts the trackie over the chainmail, takes the bastard sword, like throws it on the side of his back. He's gonna keep the Vorpal pistol, like the holster, on his side. It's just like he's fucking ready.
I was gonna say, somewhere here there is like a red tabard with 3 stripes on it, just lying here waiting for you, right? Where
on top, the minute you're like, I wonder if, damn it, it's sitting right there on the table.
Oh, okay. Can I see if there's a trident for me?
You know what there is? There's a trident for you. The minute you're like, oh, I wish there was a, there it is.
Is
Standing.
there a fractal blade here?
And then
You see a little note that comes up that says, nice try, and then it disappears. Sorry, Rob?
there's like a whole Gandalf outfit that's just red with like white stripes around the top of the hat, right?
That's exactly what it is, and you put that on.
I'm going to concentrate hard on an armor with 3 stripes on carved into the metal on the down the sleeve.
It's exactly. You imagine it being cool looking, but when you actually see it, holy shit! Like, you thought you were cool before, you put this thing on, and the horse goes, "Whoa, hey now!" So
as I look down at it, I realize I kind of picture if it could be like anodized red, and I can just snap my finger. And does that happen?
That's exactly what happens. You love the fact that now this is working. Yes. So the dream logic is working in this particular little thing. So now
wait, I need armor
oh,
too.
you need armor. What am I saying, Sue?
He would help me.
Uh-huh.
I want like some cool like ninja armor because I don't care. I'm a ninja.
Ninja armor. Perfect.
and like
Ninja armor. Isn't
armor?
that just like
Cloth. I love it.
no, but it's
Actually,
leather.
typical's wood. The old, no, it's more simple.
It's leather and wood.
Beautiful. Leather and wood.
And,
And colors?
It's black and the wood is red,
Mhm.
except 3 of them which are white.
Beautiful. That's exactly what it is.
Can I try something?
And I've
real
got a
quick?
katana.
Of course you do.
Can I try something real quick?
Mhm.
I'm going to step outside of the blacksmith's shop, and I am going to try to imagine a metal version of my cricket bat. Just to want to see if it works outside or only inside.
It's just like your cricket bat, only it's medieval-ish. Actually, when you pick it up, it's lighter and feels like it'd be even easier to wield.
Sweet.
Yes.
I tuck it into my suddenly imagined holster on my back. But I do say, hey guys, we should try imagining more weapons as we go to make sure we can get more stuff while we're outside of the castle.
I wanna
Blix
crossbow
stands
or
there in like
something.
this like red robe and like the staff and like the big floppy wizard hat, but he's still like got like the blank metal faceplate,
Yeah,
like the
I
stick
love
around
it.
it.
Like a
He's like, I don't know.
cyberpunk
I think
orco.
I'm ready now. It's like he goes over to the horse that's next to him. He's like, I dub the Artax.
Yes.
Have you guys, has anyone here seen the terrible cartoon Wizards from like way back?
Oh yeah, I would.
That's what
that-
I'm imagining. Blinks just like this, like
Yeah.
huge cloth, and then just like almost black face with little eyes, just like poking
Mhm.
out,
Bell bottoms and yeah, the whole nine.
overwhelmed in the cloth.
Beautiful.
And I need some throwing stars too.
Of course you do. In fact, you don't even need them because you already have them. Whoa! So
Feathers are the
beautiful-
best.
It's
Castleton
in this
rules.
pocket, exactly where you would expect it to be. Yeah.
So you guys are fitted out. The Kasha demon you can see is still, rumbling and angry, and everybody's blowing their trumpets or their trombones. And the horses, the horses are willing to take you guys where you need to go. They seem like they already know the way. Everybody jumping on? We're gonna do this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn straight.
Falcon. He jumps. He gets on the horse.
Nice.
Chester has named his horse Falky.
For
But
those of you at home,
still walk.
that's beyond insult to injury. This is their former enemy. He's named his horse that he's going to ride. The Balky. I love it. Okay.
We're gonna have to melt it before we leave.
Or
Yes,
at least make
seriously.
sure it doesn't walk anymore.
Oh,
Love it. That's what happens. This is the perk. All right. So as you guys are on, and the horses start galloping, it's very easy to ride these horses. Even if you haven't ridden horses before in the real world, you're in the Vurt world, it's dreamlike, but these are particularly easy. And they take you out of the drawbridge, and you go take a left, and you go around the castle, and then you guys are on past the castle. You guys are racing towards the moors as fast as you can. The more distance you put between you guys and the castle, obviously, the softer the sounds of 300 mini trombones and a giant cat demon thing go. So this is all in the past. Now you're at the point where the clouds above, which you've seen in the distance, are there. It's starting to mist. The weather is getting worse. It's getting a little bit chilly. Horses are still galloping ahead, straight into the moors. They're not sinking as if they were galloping on, solid land. And they're going. Weather's getting worse. At this point, you can see that the trees, of course, there's no leaves anywhere. It's a regular moor. But the trees, the branches themselves are moving, and it's not from the wind. Almost as if, not quite hands, but prehensile, I suppose. Yeah, they seem to be moving of their own volition, and there's not a heavy wind. So faster you guys ride, the more that's happening. Can I get a not notice? Well, yeah, some type of noticing your surroundings roll if you have an applicable skill for that at this point. This is
Aha.
Can I
Dog.
use knowledge of Vurt feathers?
yes, you can. That brings
Dog
it down
sense.
one. Dog sense brings it down one. All right.
I got a 16. I don't have any assets though.
Okay, that's fine. Everybody
12
else? 12 with it down.
with 1 asset.
One. Got it. Okay.
I rolled a 10 with 1 asset.
Okay.
I got a 10 with 3 assets.
Oh. Okay.
That pesky Vurt feather specialization.
Nice. So yes, so Blix and Chester are actually the first ones to notice it, and then you guys, quickly follow suit. These the trees out there, the branches that are moving, are actually a pattern, which is Blix. This is the most enticing thing you've ever seen. There's an actual pattern. It's too much happening at once to figure it all out. But all you want to do is stay here and find out what this pattern is, because this is glorious math. What could be, what could be gleaned from this type of raw Vurt world, pure math and magic?
It's this one, and then a 3 count, and that one, and then over there.
Yes.
Then 2 of them at the same time.
So all of you guys notice, and you've seen this before, being together so long, when he starts twitching and looking up and
Blix,
counting.
stay with us, Blix.
Yeah.
Right up next to Blix, ready to catch him.
Right, exactly. He falls. He's so excited. Yes. So again, there is a pattern going through all of this, and even though you're writing through it, you're still enjoying this pattern. Now, what Chester notices, and we're going to go with, you're starting to smell it. It smells like something like somewhere between like brackish water, which you kind of expect in a moor anyway, and then closest thing you could really, I guess, equate it to would be really bad, like La Cola from the real world, that blue raspberry, like that, which does not exist in any world, probably even the Vurt world. But blue raspberry, that horrible artificial berry smell, just a faint tinge of that in the air as you guys again are galloping forward, and that's what you're noticing. Again, this is a very odd Vurt feather. It's getting odder. Okay, so now at this point it's starting to rain pretty hard. And it's raining so hard that it's difficult for you guys to see more than 10, 15 feet in front of you. Fog is getting thicker and thicker.
Bet all you suckers took a big hat back there now.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, yeah. You feel dry as a bone there. Yes. Now I'm going to say that the rain at this point is such a downpour that the horses are really unable to go much farther. And at that perfect moment, you happen to see a little outcropping. It's like a little, there's a boulder, a little bit of an overhang. There's trees near it. You find that, or you figure, if you guys get there, you can at least get out of this rain for a little bit. As you do, and you pull over, the horses go over, put on your blanket. You guys are now under this overhang, and the rain you've never seen it so hard pouring out, but you guys are safe in this little outcrop. And let's see, now at this point, the smell of blue raspberry is getting stronger and stronger, and you guys are now picking up on it as well. It's awful. It smells awful. Let's do a notice roll.
Does it seem to be coming from the cave?
That's what the notice is. It's not so much a cave as an alcove kind of thing, but that's let's roll for some type of notice. Try and figure out a little bit more about this scent.
Chester got an 8.
Would being a dog at all be an asset on this? Or
yeah, dog sense.
okay, look. Never mind, natural 20.
Oh, good. We balance each other out.
What'd you get?
1.
1. Perfect. And Charlotte, did you roll?
Yeah, I got the 9 with 1 asset.
Nice in the middle.
Okay, so the 20. This is your second 20 of the game. Wow, that's good. Here is what you are noticing. The smell. Not only do you know, or you realize that the smell of this, the blue raspberry which is getting more and more stronger, you're actually noticing that there's something in the cracks. There's these little plants in the cracks of the boulder there, that's again, this incredibly strong odor is coming from these tiny little plants. Let's see, again, it's so pungent that everybody at this point has tears in their eyes. Yes. Now, with the 20, I'm also going to say that you know what it is, same as the other, probably the same GameCat review. And this is something called shadow violets. And this is another Vurt plant that is something that, again, is incredibly valuable, incredibly rare. People have only heard about other people seeing this. You're in a part of the Vurt world that must be, again, untapped, to say the least. They have a bit of a slight glow to them, or an iridescence. Now, here is what you remember. Here's the 20 coming in. Yes, you can touch this one. In fact, you can eat this one safely. But you don't quite remember what it does. I'm not going to give you that. But I will say that at least that it's safe to eat. It smells, it smells strong, but it's kind of enticing. And you can touch them. That's what you get for that.
Is there any way I could remember what review had both of these things in it?
Oh yeah, GameCat number 1734.
That was a great issue. That was
wasn't it?
I mean, honestly, 1632 kicked its ass, but I mean, you can't.
Hey, man, to each their own. I don't know.
So would I know which feather it was talking about? Because it feels like we're having a different one spliced into it.
Actually, the origin of this one was never determined. This is something that people have heard about other people seeing in different feathers, but this is another one of those. The first one, the Velocera plant, same thing. There's no yet stated origin feather. So these are legendary. These are the things of legends. And I'm going to give you this last bit on that 20, even though you wouldn't have normally had this. Okay. Even with all the rain, the downpour, the smells, the exciting flowers, Blix still worrying about these these patterns and everything. The slightest bit you can hear, maybe a rock, a shuffle of something. There's something behind. There's something moving behind your alcove, behind the boulders, behind you guys. There's something moved just for a second, and you heard it.
So, okay. Since I'm kind of worried about how I'm coming across to the team, knowing all this stuff about botany, I'm going to open up my inside pocket.
Yep.
And take out a pair of these like half moon glasses, like reading glasses.
Sure.
I'm going to take off my sunglasses and put them on, and then explain everything you just told me.
Nice.
While looking extremely smart, so that they trust me more.
Yep. A lot of this, maybe. A lot of this, perhaps, or
yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You just wear those glasses to look clever, don't you?
A lot of gesturing, and then I say, and by the way, I think there's something moving.
Right. That's the moment.
One, Chester's gonna lean over to Blix and just be like, "Hey, Blix, do people get smarter in feathers, or is this just no?" And then as soon as he hears like something move, Chester he draws the bastard sword, just immediately stance a gate, just like thing. Which way did the sound come from?
Definitely behind, and again, this is the moment you guys all of a sudden can hear. You hear the rocks move, and two figures jump into sight, but they didn't surprise you because you heard it ahead of time. So mechanically speaking, now here's what they look like. Not like a shadow person, not even like a pure shadow, but there's a shadowy like aura to them around. It's more gray than black, but inside you can actually see they look medieval as well, but these are knights. They're in absolute full armor, including helmet drop down, beautiful armor, but there's this grayish, shadowy smoke, and the light isn't hitting them right. At this point, you can see two of them, they reach out as well in the back, and they pull out giant maces with a huge, huge ball at the end of it with spikes, way bigger than you'd ever imagine. And they hold it up, and they are ready for a fight. Now, they would have had you guys absolutely on a surprise attack if Mr. Vurt Genius all of a sudden hadn't figured it out.
I am Indiana Jonesing this shit. Okay, so as soon as that happens, Chester's gonna sigh, and he's gonna drop gonna drop to his side. He's gonna pull his Vorpal pistol out, and he's taking his first, just taking a pot shot right at one of their heads.
Perfect. So as you're pulling out and getting ready to do this, let's roll here. Let's figure out who's going first. They're gonna go last in this. Now we'll call them shadowy knights, but no one here has any idea what they are yet at all. But shadowy knights is what we'll call them. Okay. Now let's figure out the order here for you guys.
I got a 12, and I'm trained in initiative.
Okay.
I got a 14, and I'm trained in initiative. So suck it.
Whoa!
I got a 3, and I would have 2 assets on it. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 7, and I'm not trained in nothing.
No. Perfect. Okay. All right. And so it's Chester, Oedipus, Blix, Smoke, and the Shadowy Knights. Okay. All right. Chester, you're first. You already said what you're doing, so let's make this happen. Let's roll for it. There's 2, one on the left, one on the right. What are we?
One on the right's the one I'm going to take the first shot at.
Okay.
I'm getting an 11. I've got all sorts of fun assets for battle. So I'm obviously trained in the weapon, practiced with the weapon, and I am. I'm going to go ahead and spend some speed to just steady my hand for a second.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go ahead and I can spend up to 2. Yeah, I can spend up to 3. I'm going to do 2. Sorry, I need to update the overlay. But yeah, he's steadied hand, just exhausted. So that puts me at 12. And yeah, straight shot. The Vorpal pistol is going to do 9 damage, and it's going to ignore 2 points of armor.
Okay. Okay.
Plus,
it hits now. Do you remind me, Vorpal? Do you have fractal bullets? No, this is just the Vorpal pistol.
Yeah, it's just Vorpal.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't have any fractals with me.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, and then that firearmed asset's going to give me a +1 damage, so it's going to be a total of 10 damage, ignoring 2.
2. Got it. Okay. Yes. So this first shot again, it hits dead center right here. You can actually see the armor cave in. You can see the bullet go through. You can actually see the armor open up on the other side and fly through, and smoke starts pouring out of them as if they're filled with it. And again, this is not like shadow smoke like the shadow person stuff. This is more, again, like smoke, grayish smoke. So it hits. You can hear this this really incredibly low, incredibly powerful voice say, "Nice shot."
Hang on, I'm activating trick. I'm activating trick shot, which, as part of the same action, make a ranged attack against 2 targets that are within immediate range of each other, and make a separate attack roll. So, second shot off.
Perfect. Oh, is that a activation cost? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's going to be 2, but I have 1 edge in speed, so it's going to take it down to just 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to roll. Chester got 16 on the hit.
It hits. Absolutely. Same thing. Now this one, exact same thing, exact same spot, goes through, and this one also says, "Nice shot."
Yeah, fucking Bobsy twins over here.
Nice. Now, Oedipus, you've seen Chester pull out, bang, bang, shot holes through them. You also, everybody heard the voices saying nice shot. And they're starting to lumber towards you with the big maces, but now you still have time. So
I'm going to basically aim at them with my trident, like holding it in my hands, and I run towards them. I'm going to try to hit them right between the helmet and their chest armor.
okay,
I'm going to try to shish kebab them with a trident.
nice. So so if it's specifically aimed kind of shot, it'll be a little more difficult. But you want to, if you really want to get that shot, let's do it. Go for it. Roll.
And I'm going to spend
assets or
wait, this is might.
well, it could be either. You could depending on how you choose, whether it's a forceful or whether it's a specific thing. That's up to you.
I'll use my speed.
Perfect. Okay.
So
it's finding the exact right point. All right.
So I spend 2.
Okay.
2 on that
It's a
one.
little more difficult, but okay. So roll 12 or above with the 2.
Okay. Roll a 14.
Okay. That's exactly what you do. And it's a called shot too, or specifically, or that is. In the trident, we're going to say is just like it would be in the real world. Let's do, it's 8 points damage. Yes. Okay. No. Yes, 8 points, like a nail bat, medium caliber firearm. So it's the same amount of damage. So this is something, again, right in there. You tell me on this first one, you tell me what happens. Again, there's nothing inside it. As you can tell, they're kind of smoke filled. So you doing this, what happens? He'll take damage, but you tell me what it looks like.
I want to say that the helmet pops off.
That's exactly what it does. And helmet pops off and the smoke starts to rise out. And it seems to kind of lose a little bit of its height and stature, but it's still there, of course, with no head. And it says nice and low and, clearly to you guys, ouch. Perfect. All right.
Before I finish my turn, can I yell
Yes.
to Chester? They seem to like the weapons a lot less than the guns.
Got it. Perfect. All right. Blix. You're seeing this happen. Oh, sorry. Was that, I should have specified, was that on the left or the right that you were aiming for? Both of them have the same amount of damage off them. So I just want to keep track. Rob, left or right? Which one?
Let's go with right.
Okay, so it was the right one. All right. Okay, Blix. Again, you're ready to fight, but I do want to let you know that you really are still thinking about these patterns in the trees mostly, because that's so exciting. Okay, go.
Yeah. Okay, so okay, Chester shot both an Oedipus, just like ran
just
through
like
the one on the right side.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So
the one on the left still has a helmet on.
So Blix is going to be there in his red Gandalf outfit and hold the staff up and say, "Look at the left one. So you shall not pass."
No.
And stasis it.
GM intrusion for that. Straight up. You get penalized for that. Actually, it's ideal. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's like, slam it down on the ground, little pulls the light, like that guy, like.
Well, you got style points, so let's roll for it. So is this what kind of attack is it besides verbal?
Let's see. It says 3-inch. Surround a foe with your size or smaller with swirling waves of mathematical energy, keeping it from moving or acting for 1 minute as a frozen solid.
Ooh, damn! You guys are high tier. That's right.
Yeah. It has an activation cost. It doesn't specifically call out like a roll.
Okay, that's fine then. So it's just a regular. What would be? It's an attack roll. So what are you using to attack? You said it's a mathematical. Does it have a damage associated?
No. It's just
okay.
It pins them in place, and they can't move, and we can't hurt them.
Okay.
Half of that. I don't like.
God damn it, Blix! I wanted to hurt him.
Yeah. Well, this was sorry, left or right? It's the only thing.
Left one.
Left.
Yeah.
So the one with the helmet gun. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. You do this. It starts to slow down. It's not working nearly as well as it would or as it should in the real world, but it's starting to have an effect. Maybe the math is a little behind or something, or some variables a little different. And now this one says to you, let's see, not ouch, but not funny.
I imagine it as like if you cut the power to a record player, like not funny.
Exactly, slowing down. So yes, and he's again this gigantic mace. They should not be pulled physically. They're ready to swing at you guys. Okay, yes, and it seems to be slowing down now. Smoke. You have one little chance here before they're going to full frontal attack you guys. What you doing?
Well, I wanna smoke up, and I wanna sneak over to the wall and eat one of those things on the wall.
I love it.
The little flowers.
Yeah. Can you just imagine this horrible like situations, combat, and all of a sudden one of them's like, and goes back and eats flowers. It's beautiful. It's what should happen. Yes. Okay.
God damn it, Smoke!
Oh, that's cool.
Yes. So with that, I'm going to say that you get to the point where you go around and you pick the flowers and you're about ready to eat it, but we'll resolve it at the next one because it takes a while to at least an action to get back around it. So we will resolve it beginning of your next turn. And it smells wonderful as you're putting it up to your mouth. Okay. Now, Shadow Knight on the right, the headless one here, is going for Chester, and he's going with his mace. He's swinging down pretty hard. So, Jack, roll a dodge or a way to evade.
I'm gonna do speed, speed defense. 19.
Shit. Okay.
And
Do you want to take?
I'm gonna do something else too. I'm gonna use. I've got an ability. Seize the moment. If you succeed on a speed defense roll to resist an attack, you gain an action. You can use an action immediately, even if you've already taken a turn in the round. You don't get to take an action during the next round unless you apply a level of effort when you seize the moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate that shit.
Are you gonna use effort to?
No, I got it.
Okay, so next round you won't act.
I'll spend effort from my might pool too.
I mean, doesn't really matter for you guys at tier 3. It's some of that's pretty free. Okay.
So and then I'm gonna with a 19. Oh, I also get a minor effect.
Minor effect.
Me, I get to learn something unexpected but useful.
Okay.
So as soon as the mace comes down,
so
the mace like swings down. Chester's just gonna he just sort of casually steps out of the way, takes the bastard sword. He's like, I really prefer the gun, and he's gonna take the sword. He's gonna get a 12. I'm not sure if
used effort.
Yeah, I used effort. I'm trying to think what I would count as an asset. Like he's practiced with all weapons, so that's the only asset I would really have.
Well, it does hit with that again because he's been hit several times. And this is
what's the damage on a bastard sword?
8.
8.
It's medium damage. It's like a nail bat, or something nuts. Okay, so this is the guy on the right. Yes. Now here's you do get the attack in. It does hit. Here's a little bit of information that you normally wouldn't have, like you're saying on this 19. The minor effect. You're realizing that the two of them are moving most not necessarily in unison, but they're all making the same move. So one will go forward with the bat like this, and the next moment the other one's going like this. So the one on the left is about one action or just a little bit ahead of the other, but they seem to be following kind of a preset pattern of attack. So you look at the left one, you could pretty much figure out what the right one's going to do a second later, which is a lot of information for you. But the one on the right now is at a major disadvantage.
So okay. I don't have any more actions, but all right.
Okay, so that is the first now. Guy on the left here, yes, the left with the headless there, is going to go for Gandalf here. Now, so you're going to roll to dodge, although it's going to be easier because he's much slower than he was. So, yeah, he's swinging his at you two.
Okay. So I get an asset from Tap In.
Mm-hmm.
I'll spend a level of speed effort.
Mm-hmm.
Though, where'd it go? I'm kinetic. So actually, yeah, kind of that thing that you were saying about like how they're doing things in unison and there's kind of a pattern between it.
Patterns.
So as a math magician, I can spend intellect instead of speed to do that defense roll.
Excellent.
Which actually is free. So that's 2 assets for that.
Okay.
And I think that's it for now. Yep.
Perfect. 9 or above.
20.
Oh,
Right, son.
welcome to the boomer game. And okay, 20s. Just like the Tin Man, they're just stumped, and he is absolutely just immobile. And at this point, you can hear him start to say something, but it's going to take him about a minute to get the whole thing out. So don't wait around for it.
Oh yeah, no, Blix is never going to hear that. He is gone already.
Perfect. So you now have an immobile, headless, shadowy knight on the left. And now we're at the top again. Chester, you are up. And that's, yes, one on the left is pretty much immobile. The one on the right is,
Yeah, I'm just gonna. So I'm like the pastor sword at this point. Like he's just gonna swing back the other way.
Mhm.
Just take another swipe. I'm not gonna bother with I'm not gonna really bother with effort. But I got an 8. So again, my assets are the same.
Okay. So with an 8, and here's this guy's. Okay. With yes. Sorry, guys. Okay. You swing, it misses, and whether it's the slipperiness underneath you or something, it throws you off balance, and you hit your tailbone, which is probably actually a real tailbone, hard, and it knocks the wind out of you. You were not expecting that whatsoever, and you are just poof, out of breath. Not the end of the world, especially where you're at, but it could have been way worse. Okay.
I fucking hate it here.
Yeah, it would not be a good. Yeah, not into the D&D side. Okay, Oedipus, Mr. Style here. What you thinking?
To the guy on the right still moving?
Correct.
Because I don't want to use the same trick twice, because that's for amateurs. I'm going to
style on that.
Kind of plant the trident in the ground for a second. Pull out the cricket bat.
Right.
And as you know, as a non-British person, I'm not sure what the terminology is, but I'm going to try to cricket bat him in the junk, as they say.
Yeah, how do you say that?
Upswings.
Yeah, that sounds, yeah.
I think the term you're looking for is bollocks.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I'm
Give him an
looking for the cricket terms, but
yeah, that weird little upswing.
yeah, that little upswing.
Gosh, we must sound so silly to the Brits right now. They're like, "What do you mean? It's a this?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Don't tell Jeff now about this episode.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure he'll never find it. Yeah. Okay. Yes, and Yes. So go for it.
I shall roll. Shall roll for the bollocks.
Mm-hmm.
I roll a 19.
Damn it. I mean, yes, cool. Okay, so what's your, as always, what's your suggested minor effect? Does it apply, maybe, for you?
That's a good
Can't
thing.
remember what it is.
I do not have on my character sheet.
Okay, so probably the most ideal thing is, yes, you are going to hit, and yes, it's going to do 8 damage with this minor effect here. So again, a cricket bat is one thing, but this is medium, like strong damage. 8, and here's the minor effect. His voice there, it starts slow, and it starts nice high tone because it's like this, and it's piercing, and you could tell, and then it's slowly going down. It seems to be slowing down as well, and it kind of huddles over a little bit like this, and seems to be slowing down. Okay, yes, now it's right now. Blitz, what's your thought?
Okay, so the one on the left is still. He's holding still for now.
I'm sorry?
The one on the left is immobilized for the moment. Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The one on the right is still going?
Yep. He's slowing down, but yes.
Then I'm gonna point the staff at him, and I'm going to force point him.
Beautiful. Okay, and now explain to us what force point is again.
Force point is I can concentrate on a point and manipulate the gravity for that point in space, so stuff like kind of crumples in on itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's math magician missile, right? Like
basically mathematical missile. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to roll to hit him because it's an action. I have 1 asset for being in the Vurt world.
Okay.
I'll spend 2 effort. One of them's free, and one of them's going to cost me 2 int here. And that will give me 3 assets.
Okay.
So, fingers crossed.
Get that 9.
3.
3.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
You know, it's funny. In all the time I've played Blix, I don't think I've ever hit with that. So, like...
Nice. Someday. Nice. Yes, you also, when you miss that, you also, whether it's the ground or something, you slip like this, and you fall, straight on your ass as well, like that. And you can actually hear the shadowy knight in the right laugh. He thinks it's funny. Yes.
He's wrong.
So, now let's see. Smoke, you are there with the shadow violets, and you eat them. I would imagine you're going for that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So
I'm all in.
yes, so you eat them, and you immediately feel wonderful. You're looking down. Your skin, within a second, turns blue. You are bright blue. You're more violet, shall we say, kind of thing. And all of a sudden, and you feel stronger than you felt. Your muscles feel like iron. You feel great, and you are able to. And it surprises even you are able to get all the way back around. You're faster than you were too. All the way back around and into position for another action. So you're bright blue, you're badass, and you're face to face with one of these knights, whichever one you want, left or right, and you have another action.
I want to lift the one with no helmet up, turn him upside down, and shake him.
Of course, and you're strong enough at this point. You shake, and smoke pops out. It's equivalent, I guess, of tapping something. Like,
I'll whack him against the wall to shake him. Also,
beautiful.
you got to really get it out.
Perfect. So roll for it. Just even if it's a regular strength cast, just to see if you get a 1, 19, or 20.
I got a 2, so that's good enough.
Fine, that's fine. Still make it. Believe it or not, with that shadow violet stuff, you still make it. That's exactly what you do. This is 8 damage as you're smashing him against. He's crumpling. You're actually crumpling him like a tin can against the rocks there, the back of these rocks. The rest of you guys, again.
And I'm just laughing like a maniac.
Yeah. And you see her, again, there's still smoky stuff because she's shadow, part shadow, but she's blue and she is kicking ass. And 8 for this guy. Okay, as he's crumpled here, you can hear him kind of let out a sigh, and now you're just crumpling metal against this rock over and over and over. Even you know there's nothing left in this shadowy thing, but you're
yeah, I keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. So
it's the only way to be sure.
Yeah, why not? Recycle. So, all right, so you've got this 10. Now the one on the left is immobilized, and it is now their turn, or his turn. He's immobilized, but you can, all of you guys can kind of sense a hum, like a vibration from him, even though he's slowed down, and he's, and almost, yeah, it's like a rising hum from him, you know, that he's making, and he's, you know, you can see him just shaking like this, just shaking more and more and more, and vibrating more and more and more. And that's his action.
Guys, he's humming.
Chester.
So I'm prone. He's like, so do I have to spend my entire action to get up?
Unfortunately, yeah. On this one, yeah.
Oh, can I use? Hang on. But I have a control the field, which lets me immediately move into melee range for anyone in the vicinity and take an attack.
Damn, you built that character, right? Yeah, I'll accept that.
It's also free for me. So Chester's he just rolls over and just quickly like hops like dog style up. Which the humming dude. I want to do like a Conan level leap, like up, sword out, just like and just plunge my bastard sword right into the center of his like chest. I want to find the knock where my bullet went. So I'm gonna roll. I got a 15, and I have my one asset.
Okay, perfect. Yes, and again, he's immobilized, and yes, so this is 8 damage comes crashing through. You can hear it like this, not necessarily the exhale like we just saw on the other one, but you've got him this close. Yeah, he's messed up. And again, even more shaking, starting to vibrate more and more. Oedipus.
Why are they humming?
Self-destruct?
So,
did you just say elf destruct? That's...
Oh.
Yes, that's what I said retroactively.
Self-destruct. That sounds to me like a nice other name. Okay. Okay. So, Oedipus, what's the what?
You're humming.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are humming, or just the one?
No, there's nothing left to hum on yours.
So kick it out in the rain.
I mean, I've already done my 2 main ideas, and I don't want to look like a copycat of myself.
No, don't do that.
So the other one's done.
Yep.
No?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Blix, can I actually push the stasis one away, or is it stuck? Like, how's that work?
Oh, you can push. It's immobile, but it's not a field control, right? Or what did you use?
Stasis.
Stasis. Okay, so yes, you can push. Oh wait. No, you can't.
Stasis locks it in place, but it wasn't working right here.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, it was as you guys are going down. Correct. Yeah. So you can
Maybe.
try. You just don't know how it's going to react in this.
The other idea I have is that we all step away as he's coming and see what happens.
Well, you can. Okay.
I'm going
alright,
to tell
so-
everybody to step away. Maybe he can explode? Question mark.
You're ruining
want
this.
him to
Rob, you're ruining it for me.
Run away!
GM to player, don't ruin this
Run
for me, man.
away!
No. Yes,
It's doggy instinct here.
no doubt.
I back up a couple of feet.
Okay.
And if the wine keeps increasing, I'm going to keep backing up.
It does, and you do. Okay. So you're backing up. Let's see, Chester there. That's
I
there. Okay.
gesture to everybody to follow me because I'm your leader.
Mhm. In your head. Yes. So Blix, you've seen this happen now too. What are you doing?
Oh, Blix is scrambling to get out of the way
Okay.
right now.
Done.
Yeah.
Smoke.
Smoke's going to take the empty armor,
Mhm.
crush it on top of
Mhm.
the stasis guy so that he's kind of blocked in, and then
Nice.
jet
I'll-
out with the others.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. Now it's there.
Chester's just like, why is everyone running away?
Although I'm going to say this. Yes. No. Yeah, one of your thoughts is also thinking, again, it's pretty lucky you just smashed it to give him a little bit of a block.
Wait, actually, do I have time to grab more flowers before I run away?
Take another action. It's around the other side. But no, you can run instead of running away, you can make it back there to the flowers for the next turn. Sure.
Okay, well, instead of crushing it on top of the guy, I'm
Mhm.
going to go to the flower wall and I'm going to like make a wall out of the armor to block myself
Mm-hmm.
and hide behind that and gather flowers.
Got it. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. So now they are up, or he is up. And you guys were expecting this, of course. At this point, he very quickly starts to go red and kaboom. Jack, roll, buddy. Oh, please roll high. I mean this.
Let's see. Hang on.
Or
You
you
wanna
can
use
try
effort?
listening to me next.
I'm gonna.
time.
No, he'd already gone. Unfortunately, if you would have gone first and said it, he would have been able to. But
So I want to
Yeah.
do two things. Like,
Okay.
I'm going to activate partially there, which is going to turn me half ethereal.
okay.
And then I'll dash away. So I'm going to spend. I'll spend 2 might
Mhm.
to activate that, and then I will roll for dashing away, and I
Okay.
get a 14.
16. Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay. Goes white, ringing in your ears. And I don't want to say it's not the last you remember, but for right now, lights out. And you just kind of have a memory of yourself flying back towards the wall. The other three here hear this kaboom, this shot, absolute explosion. It does not hit you guys, but it certainly knocks everybody except for Smoke to their feet because you're behind everything. Jack, this is 12. I don't know how far that drops you. I'm a little
12.
nervous. 12 damage.
Fine. Like I'll take.
Oh, good.
It's gonna,
Oh, shit.
I've got 19 in my pool. I've got 19 in my might and speed pool. So
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Wait, in both pools or in one pool?
in
Nice.
both pools combined, but right, you stack it. So I'll take. What I got 12. So I'll take 7 out of one, and I'll take 5 out of the other.
Mhm.
And like it hurt, but I'm mostly okay.
Okay. All right. So you are on the ground there. We'll deal with that now. At this moment, there's smoke. It starts to clear like this, and you feel like the battle is over. The horses, of course, which trotted away once this happened, are nearby. They come back as well, and the clouds part, absolutely part like something. A ray of light shoots about 200 yards farther or in front of you guys, and you can actually see a perfectly square hole cut into the ground with a ladder going down, a la Zelda style, absolute like a ladder going down ray of light shining there, and you actually hear the like this. And that's where we're going to stop for a bio break. Sorry, it went longer than I expected. Let's take 10 here, and we're going to resolve. This very, very, very odd feather here when you guys get back. Sound good?
I hate this place. I hate this place. I
This is
hate
the
this
best.
place. I hate, like just on the ground, like I hate this place.
Well, in your head,
I
you're
want
not conscious. But yes, perfect. So it's 3:15 now. Let's get back on it at 3:25, and then we'll still be able to. PST time. So let's get back on in 10 minutes, and then to resolve.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Beware of Kasha demons.
Listen up, Kittlings. The real world. It takes all you've got. I've been there. You are... The Vurt wants you. The only way out is to finish the game. Be careful. Be very, very careful.
Next match sets home rivals Man City against United. Blue versus red. Risk is most visceral. This Friday. Covered. Buy your ticket with us today.
Bing. All right.
All right. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. So as we've just seen there, we've had a battle between two shadowy knights that has ended rather explosively. And we've had Chester Ballard, even though he's, bitted from head to toe, at this point is on the ground and has been knocked back because he was right next to the explosion. He did take 12 damage, and because his might pool at that point was 10, the first 10 of the damage knocks him down to 0 in might, and then minus the other 2 in speed pool. So that does mean that he's now gone down the damage track. So what's happening now is he's going to be impaired, basically. This, because he's down to 0 might, you're going to roll now a 6, definitely 6 in might. Roll it again, normally, because this is a table, roll it a d6, please, Jack, to see what happened to Chester as he hits the ground.
I got a 6.
Okay, torn ligament.
No.
Yeah, so you are, from now on, at least until this heals, you're going to be moving at half speed. A short move is no more than 25 feet. A long move is no more than 50 feet. So it's half speed. It's a torn ligament. It's in your leg. That is that. Now you are. This also is a lasting. This is lasting damage as well. So this is not just walk it off. This is something that almost certainly, without major surgery and crazy amount of recuperation time, this is going to bother you till the end of your days. This is an absolute rip. You could, if you were conscious at the time, you would have heard it rip. So, yeah. So now you got a little bit of a limp. Honestly, you're swaggering enough to begin with. Why not? Nice.
Yeah. So I guess Chester. Eventually, he's his eyes are going to open, and he's immediately just going to try to pop up. And as soon as he pops up, he feels his right leg. He just feels the leg, and his leg goes down. Just God.
Yep.
I offer Chester a flower.
Yes.
This will make
she's
you feel
offering
better.
you flowers.
Yeah, let's fix
blue.
up drug with more drugs. That sounds like a great goddamn idea. And he limps over, picks up his sword, just pushes it back in his back, and he's just
it is a great goddamn idea. I don't know what's wrong with you.
He's limping. He's pushing his body towards that Zelda-esque light charade that's happening in front of him, and he is just grumpy.
Yep. Now you guys are again.
As a character, this is new for him to be grumpy.
Actually, yeah, imagine that. Now, you guys all are noticing again at this point, Smoke is bluish still. And she smells like blue raspberry. It's almost overpowering. But yeah, she's bluish. And honestly, she almost seems taller, or she almost seems like her. There's something more powerful of an aura about her, and that's kind of what you guys are at there. You did get more flowers, the shadow violets, and you have those. I'll say that you have a handful of them, let's say. Yes, so that is where you guys are at. The horses are there, of course, as well, but 200 yards in front of you is a fairly small rectangular hole that goes down with a ladder, so they're probably not going to be able to follow you down if you go.
So I want to take 10 minutes and try to So Chester's going to he's going to take the bastard sword, set it in the ground, and just lean against it. I'm not going anywhere for a little bit. And I'll do 1d6 to get some more in might pool. So that's going to give me 7 back. I rolled a 4.
Okay.
So,
anybody else need to do recovery rolls?
I have to wait an hour.
You got, actually, you know what?
Can we wait an hour?
Yeah, let's say, yeah, absolutely. Let's say that.
Cool. Because then I'm gonna spend an hour being real strong and like just picking things up and moving them around.
Nice.
And like building things.
Sure. Perfect.
And like sculpting things out of this armor that's like dead.
Chester's gonna spend an hour smoking cigarettes and like growling.
Perfect.
Just he's massaging his leg and just chain smoking.
I'm gonna spend an hour telling Chester that he should have listened to me.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Yes, over and over and over again.
Nice. So is everybody making their rolls? You do.
I'm only going to use my 10-minute recovery. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to use recovery roll, but I'm going to spend an hour like trying to be like, okay, based on the patterns and the lights and the trees and how they move, like.
Nice.
No. I understand. I understand why the feather does this now. It's like the thing, and then like, and then, like, yeah. It's...
Absolutely.
9 mites.
And he's there, and like Chester's like trying to realize, like, Chester, you see how the thing does this? Like,
it's goddamn.
Chester's too busy listening to me.
He's listening at this point, like, here's what's happening to Chester. He's got Blix on one hand, just like tugging at him, like, look at this, like an excited child, and another one just like, shut up, listen to me. And he's just like the grumpiest, just like head, just like smoking his cigarette, just like one step away from like jetting out.
Sounds about right.
This is just misery.
Yeah. Perfect. Yes. So this hour passes. I guess my only question is, what does smoke actually? What sculpture do you construct after an hour of moving rocks around like a badass, just for fun?
Oh, I construct a badass ninja.
Of course. Good. Well, yeah.
And I paint 3 stripes on it.
You do have your spray can, as always.
Yeah.
There it is.
It's good. You're going to need that for the front door of the castle when we're done here.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yes, an hour has passed. The rain seems to have let up a little bit. But again, the entire time, this almost spotlight from the clouds, this opening in the clouds has been just illuminating this small rectangular deep pit with a ladder going down. All right. And that's where you're at. And the horses seem to be fine where they're at. They're going to stay under the alcove happily, munching on grass. And what are you guys figuring on doing?
Oh, well, I don't know about the rest of you. I'm going down that hole.
Oh, yeah. That's happening.
Yes. Perfect.
For like the first time in a long time, Chester's not leading the way. Like, he's behind and he's just like, he's following and just drowsy and just shaking his head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chester, I don't like seeing you in pain, but I'm loving the whole actually following us part. So, you win some, you lose some.
Yep. You win some, lose some. Goddamn, you diving away from some goddamn humming shadow, like a fucking shadow of humming goddamn D&D universe.
Blix is kind of like looking at Chester. It's like, okay, this wide, that, like, yeah, you're gonna need a collar that's gonna have a circumference of such amount to be like when you have the surgery.
Are you fitting for a cone? For a fucking
for a cone of shame, yeah.
The satellite collar of love.
I can use part of this armor to sculpt him one if you want.
Yeah, that's between Paul and
I don't need all of
I'm not
it.
getting in that. But perfect. Okay, getting close to this this ladder going down. Let's say Blix, you're the first one there to at least just get there. You look down. It descends so far down that it's dark. The darkness is where your vision ends. So you can see down at least 20, 25 feet. Perhaps, and that's where it kind of is no longer light anymore. So, yeah. Going down?
Oh, yeah.
What's
hey, guys, it's dark. And he's just going to start.
I concentrate and I imagine a set of torches and something to light them with.
Nice. So you do that, open it, and nothing. The next time, maybe next time. Probably had nothing to do with that semi-magical blacksmith's table. It probably was you. Don't worry. So,
These flowers, are they actually glowing? Or are they just
yes, and so is your skin slightly. Just
Oh.
enough to kind of give a bluish glow, enough to at least see where you're going. Certainly not
Well,
you
then
know,
I don't
hard
care,
to read.
guys. I'm going in.
Has Smoke experienced any downsides to the flowers?
It's real hard to sneak.
Yeah, I was going to say that the big downside is the fact that totally disappearing when you're shining blue may be a little more difficult, but physically now,
I
seems to
like
be-
the idea of shining blue. It'll go with my sunglasses, and I grab some flowers.
There it is.
And
Done
I-
and
If
done.
the effects last more than 4 hours, she's supposed to consult a doctor, though.
Perfect. That's smart. Yeah, there's no like long, really speedy disclaimer at the end.
I don't think I trust the doctors in this realm.
No.
I think that'd be leeches.
Leeches with a bloodletting of some sort. Okay, so you're eating flowers. Smoke has been eating flowers. There's enough for everybody if everybody wants. Don't have to. Just throwing it out there.
You
Anybody
can't
else?
have mine. You got to pick your own.
Nice. Doesn't sound like
Che-
Chester is having anything.
Chester's
I roll up
not.
my sleeves.
No.
I found new drugs.
I roll up my sleeves to have more flashlights.
Every single thing in this world is annoying to Chester. He's not
Yes.
touching.
Yes. Blix, you eating or no?
I think Blix is more focused on the
Sounds
ladder,
good.
Just head in that direction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you guys go down the ladder, two of you guys are glowing enough for everybody to see. Although, Blix, there's a lot of low light situations you would be just fine with all your robo genetics. And actually, yeah. So you guys are going down. You guys are going down and down and down. An hour later, you're still going down. So at this point, you're an hour down, and you're getting tired.
I think it's time to start spending some effort on considering the nature of this undertaking. Then,
Okay.
Like,
Do it.
can I, based on my knowledge of Vurt feathers and things we've done before, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like usually you gotta think your way down it or something like that. So I'll
Right,
try to,
right.
if I can try to make a roll to try to figure some of that out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to.
Knowledge or anything to bring that down.
Yeah. So Vurt specialization for 2.
Okay.
Tap in for a 3rd asset.
Okay. There you go, sir.
I'll spend 1 level of effort, which the edge takes off, so it's not actually a spend. So that's 4 levels of effort, or four assets. And
9 or above. With that?
16.
Oh, okay. This reminds you of a totally different Vurt, not even related, but you made that connection because of the math magic. You remember something called snakes and ladders.
No.
Yes, so these are actually ladders made out of snakes.
I'm okay with the ladders part of that argument, but
Yeah, exactly. But you do remember that in this particular feather, and the game cat, loved this one, going all over the place with it. That the farther down you go, the farther up you are. That was what he said in his little, be careful, be very, very careful stamp on the end of that review. Farther down you go, the farther up you are. That's that it hits you like a lightning bolt as far as an idea. How you apply it is up to you, but that's what you got.
There's like little spark coming out of his head.
Probably.
there's like a little LED on the side, like,
Yeah.
bink. And I think we're all like on the. Are we all on the ladder?
Correct.
Okay, because I'm gonna be there at the bottom of the ladder because I was the one who was going first, and kind of stop and dink and lean over to the side so I can see Oedipus farther up there. I'd be like, Oedipus, Game Cat 2234.
Of course. You know that one is, without a doubt.
I can concentrate.
Is the game cat the thing in the sky?
Oh my God, Chester. What is wrong with you? Everybody knows who Game Cat is.
What planet are you from?
He's
And you're getting that question
40-year-old
from me.
parent.
It's like,
He doesn't know what's going on.
Right.
Noob alert. Noob.
Yeah. He still misses the days before before the dominoes, before the House of Chances debacle. Okay,
next time we'll find a nice blue Tetris feather for you.
I'm great at Tetris. I mean, I'd fucking kill at Tetris if you played that.
No one plays Tetris anymore.
It's so slow. Like,
cool.
Now,
So,
if the blocks in Tetris killed you, I'd play that.
Truth. So the farther down you go, the higher up you are.
oh,
What are you guys thinking?
I feel like that means we're supposed to climb up, but you know.
I feel like it means my instinct, and this has to be wrong, is if we're going in reverse, then if we just jump, we'll just go flying into the sky. But that's probably wrong.
Try it. With the torn ligament, please try it. No. I'm not that girl.
Flying out of the sky worked real well the first time.
Yeah.
Do I have if I check my pockets, I probably have something like, I don't know, think of anything. A pack of matches.
Sure.
And I dropped them down the hole.
Okay. You drop them down the hole, and it goes out pretty quickly because of the air. You're dropping a match.
Oh well, I'm out of ideas.
It didn't. I was gonna say, you kind of hear the match, hit or not hit anything, but just fly down or whatever. But yes, it descends as it would. All right, Vurt logic, what's happening?
Vurt logic.
Is there anything to the left and right?
Nope. It is a rectangle, 90-degree angles each corner, all the way down.
It's a perfect square with a ladder on one
Correct.
surface.
And you,
okay.
at this point, you only have to go near the ladder going up for an hour, and then as far as you can see down, maybe another 20, no, not even 15 feet probably with the glow.
Well, let's try going up. And if it's wrong, we can at least, have some tea.
There it is. Okay. So you guys heading up?
Wait, we're going up. We just came from there.
Nice.
Stupidest fucking game. And Chester's climbing.
Yep.
We'll see what he was
The minute you grab the first one, you find yourself something odd, and your legs are coming off of it, and then within a second, you're hanging on to it, 90 degrees angle, and then another second later, you're upside down on the ladder, and everybody tumbles 10 feet to the floor. And you're on the floor. There's the floor. There's a blue glow. It's a small little cavern, and you see a little tunnel going down farther on.
This is the weirdest. Chester just stands up and just waits. It's like, Blix, anyone who knows what the fuck is going on?
Sorry, Chester's all angry about this, and Blix is like, "Hey, this is cool. All right,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
okay, this way."
The featherhead
holding up the staff.
Yeah.
Totally
Big droopy Gandalf hat. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's right. Yes. So there is there's nowhere to go but this little tunnel. It looks like it's been dug out of the earth. This is all, see little roots coming out here and there, and it's a dirt floor. This is a tunnel. Going down the tunnel, I'm imagining you guys go down the tunnel, unless something different. Okay. So going down the tunnel, you're going, a ways, and you start to hear echoes.
I paint 3 stripes as we go.
Smart. Smart.
Now we know which direction to go back. Yeah.
Yes.
Less
Yes. So in front of you, you're hearing echoes of footprints, of footprints up ahead, walking up ahead. And at that point, I'm guessing everybody stops, or not, or to hear it, and those stop. The sounds of those stop. All the people walking in front of you.
Blix, what the hell was that?
Blix, do another weirdo Vurt roll. You seem to be doing it right here. Let's figure out if you remember anything else from these. It's nice having a real featherhead here.
Hey, I'm
Yeah,
a real
somebody
No.
who knows what's going on here. Who
I meant
feels
3
it
of
in
you
their-
guys.
who feels it in their whatever the gelatinous blob equivalent of bones are. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, so just by default it's like 3 assets.
3. Got it.
Oh, yeah, no, 3.
Okay. You're racking your brain. In fact,
It's
you can't remember.
footsteps. Yeah.
It bothers you that you can't remember, and you should remember. And now that your head's spinning, yeah, you're still doing your stuff. You're more than preoccupied. This is bad.
Yeah. Like, well, they were footsteps, obviously. I mean, we could hear that, and then you notice how all the roots kind of come together and they spiral out this direction.
At that point,
they're kind of bigger on
as
this
usual.
side than the other.
Is anyone down there?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yes. By the way, you do that, you hear behind you echo. Is anyone out there? Is anyone out there? Hello.
So Chester's like, he's just going to spin on his heels and he's going to head back the other way.
Okay, slowly and limping because it hurts like a son of a bitch, but yeah, sure.
Just like topsy-turvy, upside fucking Wonka Vader level, up and down, right as and start. He heads back the other direction.
Perfect. Yes, the minute he turns around and starts to walk, you see a door. There was not one there before. You definitely did not see one there. There's this nice door. It's a perfectly perfectly normal-looking rectangular door. It's painted white, has a nice brass doorknob on it. There's actually a little a chain, a lock on the inside or on your side, and you see a little spy hole or whatever they're called for the door to see who's on the other side. So this looks like the inside of, honestly, it looks like the inside of your stash pad's door, more or less. Kind of, it's similar. So
I'm
yes.
gonna knock. Like,
Definitely. Yes.
Chester doesn't know what to do here. He's just like, I don't.
It's solid,
This isn't.
but you now know that it's solid. Yes. It's solid.
He's gonna like, I'm gonna fucking regret this, and he's gonna put his eye up to the peephole and just kind of look through and
Perfect.
see.
And you know what you see. You see your own eye looking back like this. At you. Yeah. Exactly. And him even popping back now, all of you guys look down and you realize that you are standing in on a rectangular base with a drop off of, you can't even see the bottom. You have about 5 feet in each direction before it drops. There's no walls anymore. There's no ceiling anymore. And the only floor you have is, 5 feet in front of you, 5 feet behind thing. So you're now on a pillar in the middle of what you're guessing is darkness all the way around you.
Is the door still
Turn
here?
to Chester, and I'm like, look what you did.
No door.
No door.
I didn't put us in here.
And I just start laughing at him.
Mhm.
So I rolled my sleeves up. So can I wave my blue glowing arms around to cast some light on what's around us?
Yeah, absolutely. You can really only see, again, maybe 15 feet or so with the glow. And even if you get right to the edge of that and start, moving your arms around, things like this, you can see, that what you can't see. It's just blackness. It's
the door
farther
locked?
than, there's no door. Now all of a sudden you're
door's
jumping back and everything changed. You guys were there all along in this strange, again, you're quite literally deep into the Vurt world at this point. You're spelunking in the Vurt world at this point. So that's what's happening. Yes, you don't see, the light doesn't reach either something in front of you or down.
Chester's gonna just hop. He's gonna, with his torn ligament, he's just gonna like hop for a second just up to see if something happens. He's gonna jump up.
I'm gonna say the excruciating pain that you feel from that immediately makes you regret it. You're still there on the ground. It was a totally reasonable try at this point. Yeah. Perfect.
So I think
Now,
Blix wants to go over to like the edge of the platform, and I want to kind of see
Right.
if I lean over the edge, if I can see what's holding us up, or if it's just like, oh, is this here and we're supposed to climb to the bottom side or something like that.
you look down there, and as you look down, everybody else sees Blix isn't there anymore. Blix, what you see is you're on the same platform there, and now you can't see them.
He was the only one that knew what the hell he was doing.
Blix, go move away from the light.
You
Stay
hear
away
that,
from
Blix?
my light.
Blix, you hear that?
Do I hear it?
Yes, and you not only hear it, but it's very close. In fact, it's coming from below.
I wanna go to the.
I'm down
edge of the
here.
platform
Yeah.
And like do
that's
like a
the bad part.
backwards lean off of it. So like I'm like hanging from my knees under it. Kind of flip backwards.
Yes, Blix, you actually see
Wherever he disappeared.
smoke. You see smoke come up. The person, not the substance. Come up as if she's kneeling, and all of a sudden rights herself in front. Now she's on the platform.
Yeah, no, give her an arm bar. pull her over here.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm like, yeah, that was sweet, and I like give him a high five when I'm up.
Nice. Now, Oedipus and Chester have seen what's happened now, so you at least get the logic of this particular moment. So you know that going off the edge, you're safe on the other side, it seems.
I do exactly what Smoke did because that looked cool.
It felt cool too.
Now, Chester, your leg is in terrible shape. How do you do it?
He's gonna like lean. He's gonna be like, I'm not a goddamn acrobat. He's just gonna like get up to the edge and just kind of lean over, just like ever so slightly, and like his legs trembling. It hurts so much until he's like just barely leaning over.
I'm gonna at this point, you, because of what's happened, you fall, but you hit on the other side, and everybody sees. You go around the edge, and now you're on the ground there. You're gonna take you're taking 1 speed point damage because now your leg is on fire. You thought you were gonna do it right, but you just don't have control like you normally do. So 1 speed point, and it's excruciating. Yep.
He's just on the ground, just like gripping his leg.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Finally, himself on one side, just being like, "Can we just leave? Can't we just leave? Is that an option to just? Can we log out or something? Anyone?
Play to win, Chester.
You can. And for those playing at home, on a black feather, you can actually, and I think Mike was the one who mentioned it earlier. You can actually jerk out of a feather, and that's the equivalent of like unplugging a machine. So you're able to do it. It's not easy, especially the more powerful the feather is, but you can actually quit the feather before passing it. That's the difference between a black feather and a yellow feather. Both are just as lethal. You cannot jerk out of a yellow feather. You're
why
stuck in
would
the
you?
Says the
We're having a good time here, guys, right?
Who is having a good time? How is this a good? He's just like rubbing his leg.
Dude, I think everybody had that friend in high school, right? Where not just high school, maybe, but like someone who everyone's having a good time, the other one just ruin it for everybody because they don't want to be there. Yeah.
Blix is gonna go over and like get like right in front of us, be like, okay, 1, nobody goes it alone. 2, nobody jerks out. 3, play to win.
Yes.
4, he doesn't know how to jerk out because he's Chester.
Yeah, he'd need help anyway, probably. Yeah. So, okay, everybody's on the right side of the platform now.
Not strange ways.
No. And that you guys were close to that. You guys remember how close you were to that. Hell, I thought this session was actually going to be in strange ways. I had to. Anyway, so okay, so everybody's there on the platform, and at this point you can actually see there's a glow above, and it starts to grow and grow and grow. It's a warm, like orange yellow light, and it's growing and illuminating everything around you. And now you're seeing that the step off of the edge goes down about a foot only, and then there's floor that goes out. You're in the middle of an immense underground chasm that, again, there's no hole, there's no drop, there's no nothing, there's no ladder, there's no door, there's nothing you've seen, but you feel like this makes sense in the Vurt world. Now, as the light is growing more and more, you can see a figure far on the other end, hunched down. It's a figure, again, it looks like there's a cloak over the figure, and they're not moving, but they're huddled against the wall, arms, knees up, arms around their knees, and right up against the edge of the wall. About 30 feet. You can see now.
Well, that's obvious. We go that way, right? Until we stop going that way, and then we have to go the opposite direction, and then we get there.
Yes, we do that.
You said. Exactly.
Okay. Sorry, I missed that last one. What are you doing?
Head that direction until we don't get there by going that direction. Then we go the opposite direction to get there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So yes, you guys are walking there. The closer you get, you can hear whimpering. Not whimpering, crying. It sounds like pain, not sadness or anything, but it sounds like pain. And this figure, has the hood down, like a big cloak over this, and holding themselves like this, and you can just hear, like a low cry of pain.
I turn back to Chester and I say, "Hey, look, we found someone who's even louder about his pain than you."
Oh, oh shit!
He's so like Chester's at the end of it.
I love it.
You can start a pain club.
Yeah. So you talking to Chester even has this figure lifts up the head, and you can actually see it's a woman, and she pulls back her cloak, and you can actually see she has a crown, a small crown on her head with jewels, and she's a beautiful woman. She looks familiar to you guys somehow, and let's do a Vurt knowledge roll for everybody, just in case. She looks familiar, and she looks up and she has these piercing eyes.
It's too bad she's not a plant, because I would totally roll a 20.
Not true. Exactly.
There you go, 4.
Okay. Anybody?
I will spend
with one asset.
Yep.
Say again.
Mine's 14 with one asset.
Okay.
I'll spend 1 level of effort, which gives me 4 assets.
That's right.
Oh, 5. Oh.
Yeah. XP to reroll? Okay. So,
do I have XP reroll?
Yeah, actually, you guys have some. So, Chester, anything for you? For your Vurt knowledge, it's pretty untrained.
None. I'm not. Yeah,
Okay.
I got a 6. Like, I don't want to know.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to try to know. I'm mad if I do know.
Okay. Okay. So yes, the 16 here, that was you, Sharp, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, perfect. So you recognize this person, and you recognize them. You've never seen their actual face, but you've seen drawings. Actually, you've seen graffiti. You've seen images in shimmy plexes in Vurt You Want. It's scratched on walls. This is Bella St. Talia. And Bella St. Talia, this is exactly what you remember word for word from the GameCat description. And he says, this featherhead's eyes glow yellow. She is part Vurt, and she is able to slip in and outside the normal boundaries of scripted dreams, though she has no control over when or where or how it will happen. This ability has allowed her at least one fantastic discovery. an ancient well in Vurtchester, full of discarded, unfinished, and faulty feathers. She has managed to consistently find her way back to this place, hooked on watching the forgotten scraps of failed dreams float at the bottom of the Vurtchester feather well. That's what you remember from her, from seeing this. This is Bella St. Talia. She is wearing a queen's crown, and she's crying, and as she tries to get up you can see that she's been battered. She has a bruise here. You can see that she's starting to bleed out of her ear a little bit, and she reaches over to you as if to say thank you, and she falls to the ground unconscious. And that's what
Is there any chance Blix can like jump under there to catch her before she hits?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
She's on the ground, boom, like this. And that she's a legend. By the way, Featherheads will be going nuts. She's like the top 10.
So Smoke's going nuts, and the rest of you are like, it's the queen.
Yeah, exactly. You found the queen, but Smoke knows you found the queen and Vurt royalty. So when we start next time, you guys will still be, of course, in this feather dream, but now you're at the point where you found what you need to find, and now it's the return journey to win the feather. So we'll start that up next time. Damn it, Jackie. Chester got rocked in this one, but you know what? You've been playing, nose to the wall this entire time. I'm glad you stayed consistent. It had to happen eventually.
This is Chester. He's bound to,
Yes.
this was long time coming. One of these times I wasn't going to roll a 20. I knew it.
Yep.
Fuck.
Nice. And Blix, of course, the amount of the connections in the mathematical, you're in heaven right now. Absolutely. Also, Oedipus here. Oedipus, you feel, again, as she's falling and everything, you notice her style of this, the cool crown, the way she's dressed and everything. And instead of, probably feeling sorry for her falling on her face, your first thought is, wow, that's a cool color combo.
Also, she got a crown. I tried to get a crown.
You did. You tried it for a paper crown, too. But she's wearing the real deal. Nice. So we'll start here next time. Yeah, and it's going to be fun. So you've met Bella St. Talia. Vurt Royal.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
Cool.
This is
Thank you
nuts.
guys for playing.
Thank you for running.
Yep, and thanks everybody for watching at home there. And also, we'll be in 2 weeks. We're doing this again. We'll start picking up right from this spot, and hope everybody tunes in then.
And if you're in the UK,
yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Guess I was gonna say, if you are in the UK, we now have Modifius is our distributor over there, which means getting the Vurt core book, which has been very difficult to get in the UK due to shipping and other things, and not having a home base in the UK. We now have it. We're happily partnered with Modifius for the UK distribution. So you're going to be able to order it very easily. It's already, on October 2nd is when this, we have our big launch there. We'll also, you'll be able to find it in the brick and mortar stores, from Modifius's website. If you don't see it in the brick and mortar stores, ask your friendly local gaming store person and to order it. And that's it. And hopefully, it's been a long time coming, especially the fact that this takes place in Manchester, and we Yanks have been messing around with it for a while. So finally getting it in your hands, everybody.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Paint 3 stripes.
See you in 2 weeks.
Listen up, Kittlings. The Vurt wants you. The only way out is to finish the game. Be careful. Be very, very careful.